Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? We're doing week 1 trade advice, buy low, sell high recommendations, kick around ideas, hit the marker board, and also, so that's going to be in a second. We'll head over here, talk about the sells, the buys. Now, some of these guys you're not freaking out about, but they're good sells, and you might need to break your team up a little bit because the draft didn't go your way. So before you start saying you're selling JT, what's wrong with JT? Nothing's wrong with JT. JT's got a whole lot of trade value. The question is, does your team need to sell him? But we're going to hit the news first, talk about all the injuries going on here. MT, not even a lock to play week 1. What did I tell you? Stay away from this guy. J.K. Dobbins may not play week 1. Kittle is now injured. Kittle can't stay healthy. What do you do with Kittle if you have Kittle? Edmonds banged up. Godwin practicing, looking more likely to potentially play, but should you sell high off of that news? Let's break down everything. Let's go.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Okay, so Chase Edmonds is literally one of the riskiest running backs to run into week number 1 with as your running back 2, because he's got such a good sell value. We'll talk about him in a second when we head over to the buy lows and sell highs for week number 1. Again, not every name on here is a freak out. Every single name on here has a reason to go buy, a reason to go sell. JT, you sell him because you can get other players on the buy low list. You can couple them together and get a couple of them. So we'll get to that in a second. As for the news, we're going to kick off this and just say that Chase Edmonds walking into week 1 super risky because he's got a groin injury. He was limited Wednesday. He may not play. He may play. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. My guess is he probably plays, but he's going to walk into week 1 with a groin injury in a running back by committee that is very, very, how should you say, very, very cloudy at best. Cloudy at best. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to count on Chase Edmonds, who is injury prone, and there's like 75 running backs on this roster. So if you don't see the value in selling high when people consider him actually a running back too, I think you're missing the boat on getting something like that. So J.K. Dobbins is also a total avoid for me. I don't know why anybody's even that watches this show is even drafting him to begin with. But if you do own him for whatever reason, you can sell him high right now, as high as you can. I mean, obviously people are going to be worried about him, but sell him as high as you can. Ravens coach John Harbaugh said JK's knee is ascending quickly. This guy's not ready for week 1. He's not ready for week 1. He's just not. And we saw the same thing play out last year when I told you to stay away from Barkley. Anytime you're coming back from an ACL recovery, an ACL reconstruction, and you're not ready for week 1 and you get shoved out there without being prepared at all, your knee suffers all kinds of trauma and swelling. He'll miss practice. It's a running back by committee. The best running back on the roster is the quarterback who vultures the touchdowns and a lot of the yardage. They're a running back by committee by nature. It's an all ACL running back room. It is a disaster. Don't go near J.K. Dobbins. If you own him, you want to trade him now, because odds are he's going to disappoint you in an extreme fashion. Chris Godwin is a full participant in practice Wednesday, but yesterday we had news that when asked, are you going to play week 1? He says, nobody knows if I'm playing week 1. Now, part of that could be frustration on his part. He's like, I'm tired of getting asked about it. I'm just going to give you an answer you don't want to hear. And maybe he's fully planning on playing. But this has been back and forth all offseason. Will he play? Won't he play? Will he miss the first month? Godwin could miss the whole entire first month. Oh, wait, now Godwin might play week 1. He's clearly not ready as well. When you have ACL tears and you're not ready, I'm repeating myself again, you have swelling and you're rushing yourself back. Your body's telling you you're trying to rush this back, dude. What are you doing? I'm going to release a whole lot of swelling up in this mug so you know what's going on, because I don't want you going out there and running on me anymore. Here's some swelling. Here's some swelling. Inject swelling. He's going to be sitting. This is one of the most injury-prone wide receivers in the NFL, and he's coming back too early from an ACL tear. He's not ready. He's not ready. Even if he was ready, let's say today, he wouldn't be ready to take hits and just go out there in cold turkey, start getting smashed in the knee, start making hardcore cuts that you can't simulate in practice. It's full go. There's no practicing for an ACL recovery or return. You're not going out there on the field during scrimmages, practice, whatever, and putting your knee to the test. It's going to be a slow road coming back for Godwin. George Kittle did not practice on Wednesday, has the groin injury. Who knows how long this could linger. The guy's always banged up. I like Kittle a lot. He's one of the best tight ends in the National Football League, especially when you actually talk about a tight end position and not just fantasy, the blocking, the how much this guy he's such an important role in this offense. My guess is he plays, but I'm going to guess he plays. And let's hope this is like preemptive, not something that's really severe. It's just kind of tightness, whatnot. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a tear. Playing on a groin injury that is not just like a strain, it's actually something more along the lines of a pull, can be disastrous, because once he goes out there and explodes, boom, it's that thing's gonna light up like it's almost like hooking up electrical cable to your car battery and then to your leg, and just literally it's one of the most painful injuries in terms of like a torn a muscle or anything relating to a muscle. I'm not talking about like a torn ACL or a messed up knee or a totally ruptured Achilles. I'm talking about when it comes to tearing like a muscle, like a hamstring or a calf. Hamstring and calf injuries, they're painful, and when you do it, you pull up, and then boom, you know, as long as you're not walking on it, it's not as painful at that moment. When you walk on it, it hurts. Groin injuries, you can't move. If you totally tear or pull your groin or even tear your groin, you have like an electric shock that goes through your whole entire body when you move, and it's such a tough, long road back. Let's hope this is not an actual tear or anything significant. It's just a little bit of a strain and tightness that they're watching. But keep this in mind that Kittle could be something to monitor. This could be something to maybe try and avoid if you got a draft tonight. Maybe I stay away from Kittle at this point. I'd rather have Dawson Knox, honestly. At this point, maybe I trade Kittle to somebody that likes to roll the dice, and you go get a Knox and something from them. You maybe go get a Schultz straight up. Maybe you go toy around with getting a Dallas Goedert and something little and make that swap, because this could be something that bothers Kittle all year or takes him out for a string of games. He's already injury prone as it is, and then on top of that, it's like you don't know his role in this offense. This offense is changing, so I honestly rather have Knox, Goddard, or Schultz over Kittle at this point. Almost straight up, but because you could probably get more, you want to get more. Here's another guy. This guy is going to have, what did I tell you? It's frustrating because so many people come at me and say, Smitty, you're going to see Mike Thomas is going to be the wide receiver one, bounce back season. What have you learned from me when it comes to injuries? When you have injuries such as knees and such as ankles and the specific area of the foot where Mike Thomas injured, and you have multiple years of not being on the field, what happens? Compensation. What happens? Compensation. Whenever you have a significant knee injury, foot injury, Achilles, a major injury where your alignment is off in your body, you have atrophy and your quad goes down in size. The whole entire alignment of your body is off when you tear your ACL because it's such a long road back. You can't use that one leg the same. The leg size is different. The meniscus starts getting, you can definitely tear meniscus. When you have an ACL tear, you usually have an MCL or LCL or meniscus tear with it. There's so much off kilter with an ACL tear in recovery. With Mike Thomas, you have this right here, this deltoid, I believe, ligament. I think it's called deltoid. I know you have that in another part of your body, but it's called deltoid ligament right here, a tendon. And this right here is where he tore, and basically these two bones like try and separate. When you step down, you have no explosion. And when you compensate on something like that, you cause other injuries. He's coming back from an injury that kept him out 2 years. He had surgery on it. He is compensating when he steps. When you have an ACL tear, you're compensating when you cut and plant. When you compensate, you create compensation injuries. You're
wrong. Muy mal.
I hit my own button with the foot. And no, that wasn't wrong. Ziggy off. When you compensate, that was perfect timing. When you compensate, you have other injuries. Wrong. And so when you come off an injury like an ACL or this injury that Mike Thomas had, the odds of Mike Thomas not having a compensation injury, the odds of J.K. Dobbins not having a compensation injury, like hamstring when you have an ACL tear, you oftentimes, Dalvin Cook comes back from his torn ACL, has a hamstring injury the whole entire next season. His year back from ACL tear, horrible year. Barkley, his year back from an ACL tear, horrible year. So J.K. Dobbins, probably going to have a very bad year. Achilles tendon, Cam Akers, compensation injury. A compensation injury for James Robinson, Achilles. For Akers, Achilles is most likely in the cards. If you think Akers is all of a sudden going to have a healthy year when he's an injury-prone player. Akers came out of the year prior, before last year, came out in 2020 as my most injury-prone labeled player walking into the 2021 season, and then he tore his Achilles tendon. Now, people are going to say, Smitty, you didn't predict that. I didn't predict that he would tear his Achilles tendon, but he is one of the most injury-prone players in the NFL in his early young career. His rookie year, he had 3 or 4 injuries that kept him off the field until the exact end of the season. Okay, where he got to showcase a little bit of what he could do. This guy's coming off a torn Achilles tendon, and he's going to have compensation injuries and problems. Mike Thomas coming back, compensation injuries. JK, stay away, stay clear. If you listen to anything that I tell you, these potential injuries, even in the case of Derrick Henry, it's a little bit different with Derrick Henry because the injury was a little bit different. It wasn't something like the ACL or the Achilles. It was something in the foot. It was the Jones fracture right here in the foot. It's basically this bone right here that broke. He had a plate put in. Now, I believe he probably has some compensation going on, but Derrick Henry's main problem is the mileage in general. The fact that his body's going to break down in general. He's going to break down in general. So basically, you're going to want to make sure you stay away from these guys unless the cost of entry is like dirt cheap. If it's dirt cheap, I'm okay with going after anybody. Derrick Henry fell to the 12-13 turn. I would take him. My line in the sand is at a place where he's not going to fall. Therefore, I'm not going to probably own Derrick Henry very much at all in a season like this season. And I didn't draft him in any redraft leagues because he went top 5. I'm not taking him in the top 5. Christian McCaffrey, been out for 2 years, essentially. He's going to have all kinds of compensation injuries as well. This is a very, very, very unique season where there are big name players that I think people are investing in that are gonna tank some seasons, and I'm all about avoiding those players that I just named: Akers, Mike Thomas, James Robinson. Not that he's a big name player, but people are talking about James Robinson in a way that's affecting Travis Etienne's value. What about James Robinson? Have you heard the reports about James Robinson? Have you heard the reports about this? Have you heard the reports about that? Have you seen the tweets by such and such beat writer from the Denver Broncos saying that Javonte Williams is going to be more of a 50-50 split and everybody's going to be disappointed? These beat writers, these people that are running their mouth, talking about stuff where it's predictions, just like me. I run my mouth. I'm predicting stuff as well, but people take it on a bigger platform where they hear that and they let it infect everybody else, and it's good for us. I love that people think Javonte Williams is going to be sharing carries all year. I love the fact that people think that Travis Etienne coming back from a torn Achilles tendon is going to come in and just take carries away from a healthy Etienne who is healthy, proven healthy, showing he can cut. Everything about Etienne screams that he's 100% healthy, and he's also rehabbing on top of it to keep it healthy. Akers and Josh and James Robinson are probably multiple years away from potentially being back to form. Not this season, not even next season. Achilles tendons take longer than that, and the jobs aren't waiting for running backs, which is why you never see a running back truly ever reclaim his form, and never once has a running back tore their Achilles tendon and return to top 10 or become a top 10 or even top 15 running back in the NFL. It's never happened. Why are you going to bank on Akers to be the first to ever do it when he's in a timeshare and his value's tanking over and over? So as for Mike Thomas, looks like the Saints are not committing to Mike Thomas playing week 1 because of the hamstring, which is a direct correlation and compensation injury to the ankle or deltoid in his foot. It's absolutely related. It's compensation. And I'm staying away, period. Selling JT is dumb. Well, you clearly don't understand what the concept here is today with trading, buying low and selling high, Steven, because I've already explained it. I've explained it that none of these guys are necessarily freakouts, or some of them aren't freakouts, some of them are. Trading JT is not dumb. Trading JT for the right value is absolutely smart GMing if you're in a situation where you may have drafted a team that can't make it the distance, Steven. So you're making a whole lot of assumptions about everybody that might be in a position where they own JT, but they're being honest with themselves, self-inventory, self-reflection on their team, and they realize that they may need to make a move in order to win. So how is it dumb, Steven, with your blanket statement about selling JT, having him on this list? It's dumb. Why are you watching then, Steven? Why are you watching if this offends you so much? If selling JT isn't a good idea in some context, what good am I to you at all, is my question. That's my question to you. What would you sell Kelsey for? Kelsey, you'd have to go after, depends on your tight end situation. Let's say you were to go after a Dawson Knox. Could you get a major upgrade at wide receiver? Could you trade your Allen Robinson up for a massive upgrade at wide receiver? Then I would strongly consider that. Why show so much love for guys like ETN and Pierce on teams that will struggle to score and play from behind all year? Sometimes bad teams provide a lot of opportunity for players. And when you have a player like Pierce, who can be ultra effective in both the passing game and the rushing game, you could definitely see this man get fed volume no matter what the game script is in terms of Pierce. Not to mention, you're making major assumptions about the Texans and that they can't hang with any team at any moment in time. Are the Texans going to win a Super Bowl? No. Are the Texans making a playoff appearance? Probably not. Bro. But could they beat any team at any moment, at any time? Absolutely. They could win any game against any team at any time. They got a lot of talent on this team, bro. They've got Davis Mills, very undervalued. Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins, very undervalued. This run game is going to be very effective behind Pierce. There's a lot going on in Houston. Most people that talk about Houston, they look at Houston from a previous lens. They look at Houston from a previous angle of, hey, this team's garbage. Hey, this is the team that sat Watson over and over. This is the team that didn't handle the Watson situation properly. But that was a different GM. This GM, this coaching staff, this entire staff, period, except for ownership, they are different and they're changing things. And they're the ones that made one of the best trades in NFL history, trading away Deshaun Watson for a boatload of picks for a guy that's very questionable. And so you have this situation now where everybody's tagging last year's Houston Texans, the year before, their talent level, their opportunity. And now they literally, everybody's just going to avoid Texan players, kind of like what they say, oh, the Texans are the Texans, Jets are the Jets, Browns are the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. That probably won't change. But the Texans, look, we heard the Bengals were the Bengals. How's that looking now? The Texans are going to turn things around. The Lions are going to turn things around. These things are going to happen. I can't believe I told my brother about your channel. He contested all of my Moon men. I'm sorry, Slightly Lost. But you're going to have fun with your brother on this channel. You guys can banter back and forth. It's going to be a great time. I promise you. It will be much more advantageous to have your brother involved in this. And Slightly Lost, I appreciate everything about you, your support. You're the man. Here, how does this make you feel? Slightly Lost, I'm going to send you to the moon.
To the moon.
And I'm going to send your brother to planet Uranus. Wait, that's the wrong button.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
Then when your brother calls in, I'm going to send him to the moon and send you to planet Uranus. I'll just keep playing back and forth, but I appreciate both of you, the Slightly Lost brothers, being in here. What's your brother's handle? Can we have it like the same, like Slightly Lost and Slightly Lost 2, so that it's easier for me to keep track of it? It'd be a lot easier on me. Michael Thomas, stay away at all costs. Sell him if you got him. Jalen Waddle, this is concerning. Quad will be limited Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know what to think on that. All I know is that if I own Waddle, I'm a little bit concerned. What can you do, though? No one's going to trade for him. You just got to roll him out there if he's playing and hope that this gets better. But he's been missing for like 2 weeks at practice. He's been wearing like a sleeve thing on his leg. We don't really know the extent of the injury or what's even going on because they're not telling us anything. It's kind of frustrating when we don't get fed the proper information. I feel like we never know what's truly going on sometimes with certain teams, like Najee Harris having a Liz Frank injury and not knowing anything about it. You know, and I don't know that he truly had a Liz Frank injury, to be honest. We'll see what I can do about the handles. Thank you, Slightly Lost. I appreciate you. Smitty need to start a vice. Okay, wait for the. That's too long. That's too long. When I get to the speed round, you're gonna have to shorten it down. Maybe ask each compartmentalized question one after the other during the speed round. We're gonna do a speed round in just a second. Let me get to some of the super chats before they pile up and get out of control here. The first super chat was from Rick. Rick, appreciate you. The second one was from Problem Bless. Anytime you drop a $9.99 or higher, you get a standing ovation. So appreciate you, Problem Bless. I'll get to yours here in 1 second. Next super chat is from Tom. Tom, appreciate you, Tom. I appreciate all your support. This one's from KG Money. I'm going to put that right there. This one's from Chris M4 with the $20 holler. Chris. Yeah, buddy. That's right, Chris. Appreciate you, Chris. Chris with the $20 holler. Look at that. Look at that BMW right there, too. This guy comes rolling in. Love it. Love it. Juice, appreciate your super chat. And I think I got another one here. This one's from SS Austin. Appreciate you, Austin, for dropping that super chat. And I think I'm caught up there. Austin says, everyone prepare for A.J. Brown to finish top 5. Look, A.J. Brown's going to be a top 6 to... I say top 6 to 10. Top 5 to 10 is fine with me. A.J. Brown is ready to prove everybody wrong. How do I buy Swift, Smitty? Sad face. I don't know. Do you have Barkley? Do you have Fournette? Do you have J.K. Dobbins? Do you have a wide receiver like Pittman you overdrafted? Tell me what you did, and I'll try and help you fix it, Juice. But Swift will be kind of hard to buy, but you can definitely get him for like a third-round player and then adding something to it. Kyle, appreciate your super chat. Cordero Patterson and Tyler Algier and got Pierce and Joshua Palmer, good or bad trade. So Patterson and Tyler Algier and get Pierce and Joshua Palmer. It's only good to get Pierce and Joshua Palmer in this trade if you like winning, Kyle. If you like winning, then I'm going to go ahead and Smitty approve.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I mean, look, I would trade 2 Cordero Pattersons, and I like Tyler Algier a lot, but he's not in the role yet. I'd trade double of everything for just Dameon Pierce. Now, if that is Alec Pierce, we need to have a different conversation. If that's Dameon Pierce, you absolutely blasted him, Kyle. And I'm almost a little disappointed that you asked the question in general, unless you're just wanting to flex about it. But you should know by now, watching my show, that Dameon Pierce is it's a landslide. Like he's going in like the 4th and 5th round right now, bro. Like, you absolutely annihilated him on that trade. Thanks for the content, Smitty. I need a league-winning move. 10-team PPR, Herbert, CMC, Swift, Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown, Schultz, flexes, A-Rob, benches, Edmonds, Michael Carter, IU, Kirk. Got it. Nice team. I probably trade Keenan Allen or, I'd probably trade Keenan Allen or A-Rob with Edmonds for one better player. Now, if we look at Edmonds and A-Rob, that could afford you maybe an ETN. That could afford you maybe an AJ Brown type, but you already have AJ Brown, so it's kind of hard to think of a third-round player. I mean, I don't know if McLaurin's even high enough to make that trade. If it's A-Rob and Edmonds, maybe for a McLaurin, it seems a little light. You could always add A-Rob to... let's see, Keenan Allen sometimes goes in round 3. I've seen him go in round 2. You should be able to maybe poke a... Look, Javonte Williams sometimes goes at the top of round 3. And there's more news than ever this week, too, about Javonte splitting carries. Like, a lot came out at the last minute. You might have somebody freaking out about these reports. You might even have one of your friends send the tweets you've seen to your buddy, so that when you come in and ask what running backs do you have to trade, he'll be like, God, I just saw a tweet about Javonte sharing carries. Javonte's gone in round 3. He typically goes at the end of round 2 or mid-round 2 at the highest right now. Keenan Allen's gone in round 2. He's too high there. He goes in round 3. If you throw Edmonds and Keenan Allen together, you might be able to get a Javonte. Javonte and Keenan Allen have gone in the same place sometimes. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. Would I trade both Keenan Allen and Edmonds for like a Debo or Diggs or Tyreek Hill? Yes. That's your league-winning move. The assortment of things will help you. Go attack it. Nice team. You can probably win it now if you land that waiver wire guy. Go get it, bro. KG Money, Hurt, and thank you for the super chat, Chris. Appreciate you. Hurts, Eckler, Hunt, AJ Brown, Terry, Ayuk, Dobbins, MVS, Palmer, B-Rob traded AJ Brown and Hunt for Dalvin Cook and Kirk. I like that. I'm not even a huge Dalvin Cook fan this year because I'm worried about injury, but even I like that. Dobbins for a wide receiver, absolutely trade Dobbins for a wide receiver. You could go after DK maybe. Even if you had to throw in something small, go after DK. Go after players that are undervalued like that. DK is probably the best person to try and acquire because he was going in the 5th round. I bet you J.K. Dobbins went near the 5th round. So you might have to add a little bit, but get that done. That would be the best move for you. I traded Eckler, Allen, Lazard, and Singletary for Najee. Eckler, Keenan Allen, and Lazard and Singletary for Najee. I'm sorry, Najee, Pierce, and Michael Pittman. Absolute smash. So you got Eckler and Najee. You could almost take that out of the equation. It's pretty darn close. Allen, Lazard. Oh, that's not even Keenan Allen. That's Allen Lazard. That's Allen Lazard, not Keenan Allen and Lazard. So you traded Eckler, Allen Lazard, and Singletary for Najee, Damian Pierce, and Pittman. First of all, I would trade Allen Lazard and Singletary for just Michael Pittman or just Damian Pierce. So the fact that you could wash the running backs, that's crazy, bro. The fact that you could wash the running backs, and I would have traded Lazard and Singletary in a heartbeat for either one, and you got both players, you absolutely smashed it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I wouldn't be shocked if he never talked to you again. That was one of the worst trades I've ever seen this entire offseason, if I read that correctly. Problem, appreciate your super chat. Any trade moves, redraft 2 flex PPR league starters, Murray, Swift, Chubb, Kupp, Adams, Knox, Sutton, Hollywood, benches, Hunt, A-Rob, Patterson, D-Hop. Okay, so D-Hop and A-Rob are tradable pieces for you. I like Murray. I like Swift. I would upgrade Chubb using one of those players. I like Kupp. I like Adams. I like Knox. Sutton's pretty good too. I'm not necessarily touching Sutton, but Hollywood and A-Rob. A-Rob and Chubb. A-Rob and Chubb for, in my opinion, I would trade Hollywood and Chubb for Javonte. I would trade Chubb and A-Rob for Eckler or some first round player. That's what I'm doing. Chubb and Hollywood or Chubb and A-Rob or Chubb and Hopkins, depending on what you're getting. I would offer, either A-Rob or offer Hollywood. But A-Rob's good. I don't necessarily avoid, keeping him or anything. It's just that's the only way I could kind of tweak that team, I think, if I was given a chance right now to do it before week 1 starts. Smitty, talk to me. Starting Stevenson over Hall in week 1 because Ravens better D than Miami. Talk to me. Look, I don't mind that. Stevenson is one of the better breakout running backs in fantasy football. He could be a league winner. This was a guy I was extremely high on last year, and I'm extremely high on now. He is the ultimate flex player. If you build in a certain way where you scoop up a guy like Stevenson for your flex spot, and it's, oh my God, Michael K. CPA dropping the tide for the highest super chat of the year of $499. Unbelievable.
You've just been Smitty approved.
To the moon.
The moon.
Send them to Mars. Get burrowed.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Smitty. Woo!
Michael K. CPA. Hey, Michael K. CPA, no pressure on this, but if you send another $1.99, you'll be the high super chat of the year, because right now you're tied with Avatar for the high super chat of the year. with the $4.99 spot. So if you drop the $1.99, you will become the leading super chatter in a single live stream with the 501. So drop the dollar, the 502. Drop the $1.99 if you want. No pressure. Not trying to sound greedy here, Michael K. CPA, but I do want to put you at the top of the screen here. Avatar's been doing it a while. He's been wanting to be knocked off for quite some time. So he's been $4.99. You will be the leader if you drop that. So let me just put you up there right now. You and Avatar are tied for $4.99. $4.99. Avatar, Michael K. CPA, top super chatter of year. So that goes at the top of the screen, the entire live streams on Monday through Friday. So we'll leave that right there. And appreciate you. Good man. Michael K. CPA. I didn't even read his question. Thanks for the Michael K. CPA League. Do me a favor and put in a special prize to the winner. Great show. We'll do it, Michael K. CPA. We already got something pretty cool potentially coming with the visor. And that's going to be a custom. I don't know if it was a Tyreek Hill visor autograph. We'll make sure there's something solid for this prize. Not to mention, I think I can maybe swing another one of these autograph signs for you. So we'll send this out to the winner if they beat you. We've got a couple of these that we can do and send that out as the trophy. So appreciate you, Michael K. CPA. Drew says do another 500. drop another 500 to make it 1K, says Prime. No, we're not getting greedy. Michael K. CPA in the building. Let's give him one more round of applause. Let's go. Michael K. CPA stepping up big for the brand. Stepping up very, very big for the brand. Very, very pumped about Michael K. CPA coming in as the tied highest super chatter of the year of $499. We'll put him right here in the corner here the whole show as our man of honor, our guest of honor, sitting in the corner there. I think I'm caught up on the super chats. Let's say K. Woods dropped this one, and then the question after it. Thank you, K. Woods, for that. Let me put you right here in the corner. Let me make sure I have everything. Eduardo says, would you do CD and Brees for Javonte? CD and Brees for Javonte. That's tough because as of right now I would, but if Brees turns into what I think he could turn into, then I don't like that trade at the end of the day. But right now we don't know what Brees is, and of course I believe he will be amazing. But I think Javonte, I'd like to get a little bit more something, but I probably would lean to do that deal. Because I love Javonte that much. Master with the super chat, 0.5 PPR. I got Josh Allen, Swift, Javonte, Deontay, Hollywood Brown, Damian Pierce, Cole Kmet, Ramondre Stevenson, Kenneth Walker, Ertz, Chark, Elijah Moore. This is a good team. I mean, Swift, Javonte, and Allen, you can't get better than that stack. Damian Pierce, your running back and quarterback, your tripod, so to speak, on this team. Allen, Swift, Javonte, that's definitely a tripod. Allen, Smith, Javonte is a tripod. You put in Pierce, it's a quad pod. I don't mind that your wide receivers are a little bit like lighter because, I mean, they should be, right? You have literally, we have 400 people in here, hit the thumb up button. We only have 115 thumbs up. We got 400 eyeballs in here. We can pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Hit that thumb up button for your boy Smitty. But this right here, you don't even need to touch the wide receivers. But I will say that I would try, and you have Ramondre Stevenson about to gain value. You don't need to make a move before week 1 because this team could have that value in Ramondre. Ramondre alone with Deontay, Ramondre alone with Hollywood Brown might get you that Debo or A.J. Brown if Ramondre changes his value drastically coming out of week 1. If not, if he doesn't, or you can't trade him preemptively, like right now, trade Deontay and Ramondre off of some of the Ramondre hype that's going around right now, maybe try and get A.J. Brown, try and get somebody of that caliber, then it's game over for you, bro. If you don't have injuries, it's game over, master. It's got to be like a 4-man league. It's got to be a 4-man league. This is from K. Woods. K. Woods says, Goddard, Sutton, Ryan, Bench. Oh, sorry, Hurts, Debo, T. Higgins, Najee, Saquon, Goddard, Sutton, Ryan, Bench. Bench is Herbert. Oh, Khalil Herbert, probably. Khalil Herbert. Moore Walker, likely. Got a trade offer. Ryan, Sutton, Saquon for Burrow and Pierce. Ryan, Sutton, Saquon for Burrow and Pierce. Most people are going to tell you not to do that trade, and I feel like as much as I love Burrow, as much as I love Pierce, Saquon, Sutton, and Ryan is just a lot of talent to give up. And looking at your team, if I picture Burrow in there, Pierce in there, I don't think it's going to win if you take all that talent away. Ryan's on your bench, though. Is it it's super flex, right? Super flex. Hold on. Burrow is your super flex. I don't love Matt Ryan as much as even remotely close to Burrow and super flex. That changes something for me. I'd say try and get a little bit more. In Superflex, I do it. In Superflex, I do it. I know it's a lot to give up. In Superflex, I do it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I just try and get something else. Try and get something else at all. Even if it's just like somebody he doesn't like that you kind of like. But that's a very, very interesting trade, bro, to say the least. It's complicated, right? Bateman and Rashad White for Juju and Henderson. Give me... I'm not even a big Bateman fan, but give me the Bateman and Rashad White side, I think. I'm not a big Juju believer, and Henderson's far from a lock of any kind. So that's a pretty easy call for me, and to be honest. Michael KCPA again, pal. Let's send Michael KCPA to the moon again.
To the moon.
Appreciate this guy. This guy is amazing. Where are we at? This one's from Bums. And this one's from for Toronto. Okay, drop that there. Let me see if there's any others. Ron Navy dropping a $5 hauler. BB3 is officially full. Puppy still open. Just drafted last one in BB3. Okay, so Best Ball Mania 3 is done and closed, according to Ron Navy, who's our Best Ball correspondent. And Ron Navy says that the Puppy 4s are almost full. Ron, how close are the puppies to being full? Will it be like by midnight or earlier? Because I need to get in some of those. And if you guys aren't into the Best Ball drafts, you're going to be sorry. Because if your season goes to crap, you're going to wish you had Best Ball drafts that are lingering out there, that you don't have lineups, you don't have waivers. You literally, they're one and done. You draft. And if you don't have like a handful, at least like 4 or 5 of them, they're $5 each. These puppy drafts, they probably close tonight or tomorrow on Underdog, or they definitely close before kickoff, but they probably close by tonight. People are going to rush in and just blast through them. I'm going to go do about 10 of them tonight, minimum. 10 of them tonight, $5 each. What is it? The first place is like, what, 70K, Ron? First place is like 70-something K. If you get a 400th place, you get like $400 still or something. It's absolutely fun. They're $5. You end up drafting with a group of 11 people, so there's 12 of you in it. And then you go through, I believe, week 14. And whoever the top 2 teams after week 14 go to the next league. And then they assemble 12 of you again in week 15. Then the top 2 in that 1 week go to the next round. They do the same thing again. And then walking into the final round, the final playoff round, everybody goes into one bucket, and the top scorer in that week wins that top prize. It's so fun, and all you got to do is go to Underdog Fantasy. I'm going to drop the link's in the description. I'm going to drop the link right now in the live chat. Please use the link because they will give you up to $100 match on your first deposit. So if you deposit $100, up to $100. If you deposit $100, they will give you $100 on top of that. So if you deposit the minimum of 10, they'll give you an additional 10. And so you could go in and do 4 Best Ball drafts by doing $10. Click the link. $10 will get you 4 new leagues that you can draft right now. Right now. 30-second timer. 4 drafts, drop $10. You get 4 drafts, 4 new leagues. Why not do that? Why would you not want to do that? It saves your season. Okay, that rant's over. Link in the description, link pinned in the live chat. Let's go. This message is from Damien, $5 hauler. Appreciate that. This one's from Trone, $5 hauler. Macho, $2 hauler. Rockout, $5 hauler. Torres, a $10 hauler. Torres, dropping the 10
To the moon.
Wrong button. Anybody dropping a $9.99 or higher gets a standing O moving forward. Appreciate that, Torres. Torres says, which side in a half PPR, Kamara and Zeke or Chubb and ETN. Oh, God, that's tough. This is one of those trades where it's like, what's the point, you know, because you're like losing, gaining, losing. If you believe in Zeke, the Kamara side, but you're taking a risk with both Zeke's injury history and mileage, and you're taking a risk that if that video leaks, he's done. If it doesn't leak and you know the trial gets postponed and it just keeps getting moved, there's no bad press or PR, then maybe he plays the whole regular season. Is tough. I don't like Chubb. I hate the situation in Cleveland. I'm predicting Chubb to be disappointing at times and inconsistent, and you got Kareem Hunt still there. ETN I like a lot. I probably lean. Oh my God! Can I get a vote from the chat? This one's hard to digest, man. And I'd love to get group thinks so we don't steer. I mean, Giancarlo dropped a $10 hauler, and I want to make sure we help him on this one. So if you guys could drop your opinion, I would greatly appreciate. Let's help our fellow man here get the right get on the right track. This one's from another Torres. I don't know if you guys are brothers. This Torres says Pollard or Melvin Gordon. Oh, you know, his brother's on here. How ironic. I remember your brother asked a question about that team that he kind of didn't have the best team in, and I was trying to help him with it. So appreciate the brothers being on here. That's so funny. These guys aren't brothers, but him and his brother are on the show together. That's ironic. Pollard or Melvin Gordon for flex. I have JT and Hall. God. I'd probably go Pollard, but that's me. I'm dice rolling Pollard. Melvin Gordon's safer. Pollard's got higher risk of doing nothing, but higher upside in my opinion. Need a league-winning move. Lance, Cousins, Swift, Javonte, Singletary, Herbert, Pacheco, B-Rob, A.J. Brown, McLaurin, A-Rob, MVS. Lance, Cousins. I don't know if this is super flex rock out. I assume it is not. Swift, Javonte, Singletary, Herbert, Khalil Herbert, Pacheco, B-Rob, A.J. Brown, McLaurin. You got a really good team. The only thing to do is A-Rob and Singletary, A-Rob and Lance, A-Rob and Cousins, whatever, Lance or Cousins, A-Rob, to try and get a Burrow or a quarterback like Mahomes or a Hurts. Past that, bro, you there's not much to do. I like your wide receivers enough. Maybe, you could potentially trade Singletary and McLaurin for a slightly better wide receiver. I mean, like Debo or something. Past that, I don't know what to tell you. Trade. I mean, it's so good. That's why I don't know what to tell you. You got a good team, and I don't know that I mess with it unless you do that exact move that I was describing. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you. Trade Najee for Swift or for Javonte. I'd rather have in order Javonte, Swift, and Najee right now, but they're neck and neck. It's not by a landslide. I could go either way. They're all very, very close to me. If I was drafting at 10, 11, 12, and they're all there, I would struggle with which one to throw there. Macho says, should I trade Lazard for Pickens? I would rather have Pickens. Lazard's hurt right now, and I just don't think it's something that I'm interested. I'm not interested in going down that path. I think Dobbs ends up taking over. Open the money gate, says Dan with his super chat. Dan, thank you. Appreciate you very, very much. Bad Sport says, my tripod, Russell Wilson, Javonte, and Judy. That's not quite there, Bad Sport. Nice try. I like it. It's a cool little stack, a triple stack. It's like a triple stack of pancakes, but it is not a tripod. The tripod is something that can't be, it can only be bested by adding Swift or Javonte in place of one of these guys.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Javonte Williams.
Silver Rapture dropping a $10 hauler, getting a standing O. Standing O's, baby. Standing O's. Silver Rapture says, what up, big dog? Here's a $10 I owe you for the Michael K. CPA. Throw it on his tab. Well, I'm not handling any of the entry fees for through this. It goes to League Safe, but I appreciate the $10 hauler though, Silver. You don't owe me anything. I didn't do anything as far as that goes. That's all through League Safe. Two wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. Michael Pittman, Hollywood Brown, Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas, Saquon, Etienne Akers, Damian Harris. Need 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Michael Pittman is an obvious. Hollywood or Allen Robinson, that is a tough one. Michael Thompson, is that Michael Thomas or is that really Michael Thompson? I just want to make sure I got this right. Michael Pittman, and probably I would say Hollywood Brown in week 1. A-Rob, I'm going to stay away from A-Rob. I think it's going to be a tough game, and I want to see what Stafford's looking like at first. As far as the running backs, you need 2 running backs. I'm going to go with Saquon and ETN, and then I'm going to swing back around and put A-Rob in as the flex, Trone. Appreciate your super chat, good buddy, good pal. You are the man. I appreciate you. Cali Loco is the only guy in the history of the show to literally call in and we lose 120 eyeballs. 120 viewers immediately jumped off the live stream when Cali Loco sang for about 55 seconds straight. Cali Loco, I look at it as an accomplishment, and I loved it. It's an acquired taste you're singing, and I absolutely adored it. I felt like I was being serenaded. But apparently, 120 people of 500, we had 500 people in the live stream. It went down to 520, and it went down to 400 even. When he came in and sang. I love him, though. I love him. Look, he's dropping a super chat. I have the second pick, JT or go JJ. Chase, I doubt I get Javonte coming back or Eckler, CMC, and pray. I mean, if JT is there, you take JT. If you can't trade down into like the 12 pick, I love a lot more where you can get, Javonte and Swift. But JJ's a fantastic pick, but it does put you in a bind if you don't think running backs will fall. But it's really hard for me to not take JJ at number 2 or 3 if Javonte's gone. So for me, I'd say if you believe running backs are going to be too scarce to recover from, go Eckler or CMC. Pick your poison. Pick the guy you want to see play on Sundays. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. There's a risk with CMC, but there's also an upside, so it's up to you. But Eckler's safe. He's pretty safe. Eckler owner has Kamara, top wide receiver AJ Brown, and D Smith and Godwin. Problem bless. I already forget what the question was. I can try and go find that. Hold on 1 second. Let me go to the top. Trying to include it in the question just because I won't remember, bro. Here it is. Problem. Chubb, I think I said something like Chubb and A-Rob. Okay, so the Chubb and A-Rob for Eckler. I don't think he'd do that, but try. Kamara, I'm not going after Kamara. Chubb and A-Rob over. I mean, maybe you could go Chubb and A-Rob over Kamara for Kamara if you like Kamara that much. There's risk to that, but I don't love Chubb right now. I think Chubb is a big risk, so maybe I would do that for Kamara in your situation. This is a $5 hauler. Dameon Pierce to the moon. Absolutely. Moon Targaryen just traded away Dobbs for Rashad White. I don't mind that. Solid move. Yeah, I think Dobbs is looking pretty good because Lazard's questionable. So Dobbs will be very, very good, but it depends what you want. Do you want a wide receiver? Do you want a running back? They're in very similar situations. They're rising up. One of them could be very, very valuable. It kind of depends on the starters in front of them, and we don't know which one's going to rise up sooner. Right now, it feels like it could be Dobbs, but do you need a running back? Do you want a running back? I don't mind. Your wide receivers are Chase, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Treylon Burks, and Pickens. So you probably didn't need Dobbs, but you never know what kind of trade bait he become. I kind of like the idea of Rashad White more, but Dobbs could have that value where he's unattainable again once coming out of week 1. He could be like the top waiver wire guy. So appreciate your super chat, Problem Bless. Appreciate your follow-up super chat. Johnny, $5 hauler. Torres, another $5 hauler. 510 from Michael K. CPA. Did Michael K. drop another one? Let's see. I got to look for it. Thank you, Cali Loco, for your super chat. About the second pick, Problem Bless, appreciate you. Michael K. Maybe Michael K. dropped another one. I'm looking for it. Hold on, Michael K. I don't see it yet, but I probably just skipped over it and didn't see it. Blackbeard said, fronting Michael K. CPA since YouTube won't let him. Oh, gotcha. YouTube won't let him. Okay, Michael Blackbeard did it. Michael K. CPA is the new leader. 502. And maybe Michael K. Said that there's 510 somewhere else. I don't know. We're putting him at 502. Michael K. CPA is the new leading super chatter of the year. 502. Avatar won't have a problem with that. He sat at top for a long time. Top super chatter of the year. Michael K. CPA with $502 in a single live stream. Let's give him a round of applause. And Blackbeard. Blackbeard for coming through with the assist on that. I Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Oh, that's what Silver was talking about. I thought he was talking about the Michael K. CPA League. So Silver dropped a $10 hauler, and they're all contributing here. 512. We're going to put it at 512. We'll lock it in. Now, no one else can contribute to that. I'm going to Smitty approve those two. Michael K. CPA, $512 in a single live stream. Let's go. Now I understand what you guys are talking about. Thank you very much for explaining that. Silver says 512, baby. 512 it is. 512, Michael K. CPA, top super chatter.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, Michael K. CPA. Thank you, Blackbeard. Thank you, Silver. You guys are all amazing individuals, and I'm proud to call you friends. And you know, we're just gonna take this thing to the top. You and I. Damien, did I get to this one? Please grade and any trade advice. Burrow, AJ Brown, Amon Ross, St. Brown, Eckler, Javonte, DK, Gabe Davis, benches, Breece Hall, Elijah. I mean, it's a fantastic team. I assume it's a 10-man league. It can't be a 12. But that's still good. That's not a knock. It's just I can't envision this being. You got Burrow, AJ Brown, Amon Ra, very understated wide receiver 1 and 2. I love them as your wide receiver 1 and 2. Given that you have Javonte, Eckler, and DK in the flex, Gabe Davis. Maybe trade DK and Breece Hall, Gabe Davis and Breece Hall. Maybe wait till they gain value too, and then you trade them for just a bigger gun. But I think I roll it into week 1 and let those guys gain value because I don't know that you're going to get what you want in trades. So definitely love that. Giancarlo says, which side do you have? Which side have PPR, Kamara, and Zeke or Chubb? Can we get one more vote on that? I didn't see what you guys voted. Would you rather have Alvin Kamara in half PPR with Zeke Elliott, or would you rather have Chubb and ETN? Can you please drop a vote right now? Chubb side or Kamara Zeke side? Chubb and ETN or Kamara and Zeke? Please drop a vote for Torres so we can get him taken care of. Thank you so much for the super chat, good buddy. Johnny 2K says, Smitty, my last and most important draft is tonight. Who are the Mars men and who are the Moon men, and what is the difference? Appreciate you. So Johnny K2K or Johnny 2K, here are the Mars men right here. The Mars men are the elite, and then the Moon men are the elite. The Mars men are the elite of the elite. Now, it doesn't mean that their draft capital is all, at the top in the first round. It just means that they're guys that I think are going to take people to the promised land. The Moon men are just slightly below, but sometimes, they can be on both lists,
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
So as you can see, Javonte, ETN, Burrow, Hall, Hurts, AJ Brown, a lot of it's about cost of entry. Pierce at the very, very top. St. Brown, Lamb, Schultz, Rashad White is very, cheap, but could take you to the promised land. Pollard, Trey, and then the Mars men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
Now, of course, like JJ, is worthy of being on this list, but Jamar Chase goes a lot later. Javonte, it's more about values. Swift is going lower than he should be going. Lamb's going lower than he should be going. Of course, JJ's, on Mars already. He's probably in the cockpit there, flying this shuttle over there. But these are the guys. So the Mars men, Swift, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Javonte Williams, Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Moon Men. You got the names right in front of you.
Dropping loads in outer space.
And don't forget the tripod.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Javonte Williams.
So that should help you, Johnny 2K. They're just all a bunch of guys that I love to draft at the cost of entry, and appreciate your super chat. This is a $5 hauler from Ferranto. What's up, my man? Thank you for the super chat. Strengthened by trade: Herbert, Mike Williams, Gabe Davis, Cooks, I assume that's DJ Moore, Ayuk, Pickens, Taylor Chubb, CEH, Harris, Damian Harris, Michael Carter, Andrews. Okay. I'm gonna say, okay, your running backs are Taylor and Chubb. Your wide receivers are Mike Williams, Gabe Davis, quarterbacks Herbert. Your Andrews is your tight end. I mean, I sell Andrews and I put in a Knox or a Freiermuth or something like that, and I try and get like a Deebo Samuel or something like that personally. If you can't get rid of Andrews and you want to keep that anyway, trading Mike Williams and Gabe Davis together for one wide receiver, or no, Cooks. I keep Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis and Mike Williams. What if you traded Cooks and Clyde, or Cooks and, yeah, I'd try and trade Cooks and Clyde for just one slightly better player. I would also break up Andrews if I had to. Honestly, I just feel like Andrews will get you what you need, and you can replace him a lot easier. Pick up Likely off waivers as your tight end too, in case he balls out. He's not a starter yet, but he's just one of those difference makers. I love Herbert. I'd probably keep Herbert or Mike Williams stack. Don't trade that. I like Gabe Davis a lot. You probably won't even get enough for him in a trade. You could poke around and try. If Gabe Davis would get you more pull, I would trade Gabe Davis and Clyde for one bigger, better player. But I'd definitely keep Mike Williams, Cooks and Clyde, Cooks and Chubb. Those are pretty easy, I think, things to shop around. I don't know if anybody will buy on Clyde yet. They might be skeptical of him. But Cooks and Chubb should get you a Javonte or Swift potentially, I would think. All right, where are we at? Good team though. I think you've got a strong core. Was typing this as you were talking about it, but 10-man PPR dynasty, J.K. Dobbins and Gabe Davis for Metcalf and an early second. Look, Gabe Davis could be as good as Metcalf this year. That's not a knock on DK. I love DK a lot, but Gabe Davis is going to be pretty good. My question would be, can you get more for J.K. Dobbins later if you let him get healthier and get on the field or something? I'd rather have DK in a vacuum. I'm just going to answer it that way, but Gabe Davis sometimes goes ahead of DK. So I almost kind of feel like you should be getting something the way that Gabe Davis is getting valued right now. He goes in the 4th round sometimes. These guys are both, Gabe Davis and Metcalf are in the same round. So I don't know why you're giving up the J.K. Dobbins. That's my hesitation. Would I rather have DK? I think DK's undervalued, so I'd rather have DK. But I feel like you're giving up too much. Did we get a vote on this? What did you guys say on this trade here? Let's see here. What was the consensus on this? What did everybody say on this trade here? On Kamara and Zeke versus Chubb and Etienne? What was the consensus? Can you guys give me the vote on this? Elijah Moore. I'm not seeing the voting. Everybody vote on that for me, please, real quick. This super chat, $5 holler. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. 10-team PPR, Herbert, JT, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Higbee, benches, Gabe Davis, AJ Dillon, Kirk, Algier, Lazard, Rashad White, Everett. Trade advice. You might be a candidate for the trade. We're going to go into the trade discussion right after this. You're going to be a candidate for the trading away of JT, which is on this next screen, which we haven't even got to yet. We haven't even got to this yet. I'm trying to get to it. Herbert, JT. So this is a good team, but it could use some work, bro. It could use some work. Herbert, JT, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Higbee. It's probably not going to win the league. I like Dillon a lot. That's pretty crafty on the bench there. That's potentially a starter there for you. JT, AJ Dillon, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen. It's a good team, but I don't know that it's going to win in a 10-man. So my advice to you would be to downgrade JT into Swift or Javonte to get another big gun. And it has to be a big gun. It can't be like you miscalculate that. You come back to me and you say, Smitty, I did what you said. I traded JT for Javonte and Godwin, and then I'm going to lose it. That's not what I'm talking about. But I think you could definitely pull that off, bro. I think you definitely pull that off. Chubb and ETN, then flip Chubb. I kind of like that idea. I kind of agree with Kevin there. That's probably the best way to approach this, Torres. I like that. We got a Chubb vote here. We got a Chubb and ETN. Oh, I got rid of Michael KCPA's super chat. Hold on. Got to bring it back. Got to bring it back. Hold on, Michael K. I'm coming for you. I got to find him again. God, you guys message a lot. These chats are out of control. The super chats, you guys are amazing. Let's put Michael K over here. By the way, there's this news right here. We didn't get to this news. Deontay Johnson shoulder won't commit to week 1. It's picking season, guys. Lazard not committing to week 1. It's picking season. It might be Dobbs season as well. Chubb and ETN vote. Michael K CPA, appreciate you, buddy. Which side? Oh, I already did that. How many super chats do I have left? Andy, $2 hauler, drop Alan Lazard for Elijah Moore. Absolutely. Like, without hesitation, bro. Not even a hesitation. JB, first ever Dynasty draft tonight. Quick advice. Yeah. Burrow round 6-7. Javonte 2. Chase or Jefferson 1. Swift and 2. Swift and Javonte together 1 and 2. Third round AJ Brown. Go get him, pal. You got this. Appreciate your super chat. Draft the tripod.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Javonte Williams.
Chris with a $10 hauler. Please rate my 12-man team. Russell Wilson, Mixon, Barkley, McLaurin, Sutton, Mike Williams, Irv Smith Jr., Broncos, Buckner. Bench is Dameon Pierce. Get him in your lineup. Hopkins, J-Rob, Henderson. Okay, so you've got Wilson, Mixon, Barkley, McLaurin, Sutton, Mike Thomas. You need wide receiver help a little bit. I'm trading. I don't want you to trade Dameon Pierce, but he's got a lot of value right now, and you could use a move. Dameon Pierce and potentially Mike Thomas for like one bigger player, Chris. Would I trade Barkley and somebody for Swift? Yes. Would I trade Mixon for Javonte and Barkley for Swift and then give little pieces from the bench if I needed to? I don't think I would give Dameon Pierce, though. But would I give little pieces from the bench? Would I maybe give Mike Thomas in one of those deals, who's injured, and Hopkins in the other, and come away with Russell Wilson, Javonte, Swift, McLaurin, Sutton? You lose Mike Thomas. You got Dameon Pierce. Like, would I rather have that team? I probably would. If that helps. That's just the way my brain thinks when I look at something like that. Fallon, appreciate you, Fallon. Fallon says, rate this 12-man, 3-wide receiver, full PPR league. Stafford, Breece Hall, Mitchell, Cooper Kupp, Lamb, Pittman, Pitts, Renfro, Pierce. Very, very good. You could potentially, I put Pierce in your lineup for week 1 for now. But Mitchell and, you probably love Pittman, so maybe you don't want to trade Pittman, but I would trade Pittman and Mitchell for maybe a Swift type player if you can. Najee Harris, Eckler, Pittman and Mitchell might not get you that. Breece Hall and Pittman might not get you that, but you could always shoot for the moon. I think because Pittman can go in the 3rd round, sometimes late 2nd, to me, asking for a Najee Harris isn't the craziest thing in the world, because Najee's falling to the end of round 1 into potentially round 2. And if Pittman sometimes goes crazy in crazy fashion at the bottom of 2 or top of 3, I kind of feel like it's not that big of a stretch to throw in an Eli Mitchell and get Pittman and Mitchell out there to bring in a Najee, a Swift, or a Javonte. But that's me. That's me. I think I would do that. That's what I would do with that team. Absolutely love it. Jacob, I'm looking for you, Jacob. Red says Jalen Waddle or Rashad Bateman to start. Give me Waddle if he's healthy, but we just don't know. He's back at practice. We'll have to see. Trade Monty for Hall or Akers. Give me Hall all day long. And get rid of JK while you're at it. Not in that trade, but in another trade. But I take Hall over Monty. I don't trust Monty at all. Ron Navy says, I got the quad pod in my last best ball 3. Chase, Higgins, Javonte, and Dameon Pierce. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot, Ron Navy. Damien with a $10 hauler says, grade this team. $10 hauler. Damien, did I already do this one? Burrow, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Eckler, Javonte, DK, Dawson Knox, Gabe Davis, benches, Breece Hall. Love it. Wait on Breece Hall. Once Breece Hall gains value, maybe you look to upgrade, or maybe you just hold him. Gabe Davis and Breece Hall, once Breece Hall gains value, might get you a top of the second round player. Fantastic team. I would say that's like an 8 out of 10 easy. Rich says, Smitty, please help Michael K. CPA. I don't know how many more fantasy playoffs he can lose and not fire me, says Rich. All right, Rich. Appreciate you, Rich, dropping that $10 hauler. Rich is the man, the myth, the legend, gets a standing ovation. Rich. And this right here, we're sending Jacob to the moon as well. Jacob says, Smitty, tell me what you think. I picked 6 this year in a half PPR. Kyler, JJ, McLaurin, Chubb, Javonte, MT, Judy, Ramondre, Traylon Burks, and Pacheco. I love Ramondre and what he'll probably do for you trade-wise. If Judy or MT end up gaining value and you can trade them away with Ramondre, you could upgrade this team tremendously. Not that you need to upgrade it, but I'm just saying you're always looking to upgrade, right? Chubb and Javonte are very good running backs, considering you have McLaurin and JJ and Kyler, and then Ramondre. Very, very good. Chubb and MT for a Najee or an Eckler, or maybe even a Swift. I mean, I don't like Chubb a ton. I think he's definitely not somebody you're going to sell low, right? But would I take an upgrade using MT? Probably try Judy and Chubb for Swift. Judy and Chubb for Javonte. Start there and then just kind of poke around at different alternatives and different variations of that. Johnny K, I got you already. Appreciate you. Important draft tonight, to the moon. Appreciate you. I think I'm caught up on those super chats. Cali Loco, problem, bless. Okay, Ron Navy, thank you, Ron Navy. Red, Fallon. Okay, where are we at? Andy, appreciate you, Andy. Drop Alan Lazard, I got that one already. Derek Just, Jacob. I didn't miss your super chat, Jacob. They're just so far behind. I obviously got to it already, you know that. But appreciate you. Ron Navy's full team here. Eric right here. This is a $20 hauler from Damien. Damien, appreciate you. Damien says, how's the team? Give it to me straight. QB Herbert, Javonte, Damian Pierce, AJ Dillon, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, Zamir White, Rashad. Wide receivers are Chase, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Knox. I mean, bro, what do you want me to say? You know, like, this is phenomenal. Damian Pierce, AJ Dillon. I mean, one would look at your running backs and say, I don't know if I love his running back too, but those people don't look at Dillon and Pierce like I do. I love Dillon and Pierce as a rotational secret weapon, try and blow everybody out of the water and surprise everybody and just, you know, take their jobs by storm. Javonte and the duo is fantastic. Herbert's the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in fantasy. You've got AJ Brown and Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't even want you trying to do some kind of upgrade, because I love Knox, I love Chase, I love AJ Brown, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. The only thing you could maybe do is if, let's say, Zamir White or something smaller started to take off, or AJ Dillon was such good value and Pierce was such good value, you could go get like a top running back, like a top 5 running back, then I'd explore it. But other than that, you let that team ride because it's got depth, it looks good, it's perfect. I don't even poke around at too many trades. It's one of those teams. Sometimes teams are that good where you literally don't even want to make a trade. Eric dropped a $2 hauler, and then here's his question. Appreciate you, Eric. Eric said, Hurts, JJ Lazard, Pickens, Javonte, Dillon, Penny, Pitts, bench, Pollard, Jared Cook, Brian Robinson, Tolbert. Likely thoughts on how to improve. Hurts is an amazing quarterback. JJ, and you're kind of thin at receiver after JJ. Javonte, and then kind of thin at running back after Javonte, but I do like Dillon. I like Dillon and Pierce together. Dillon alone, there's some risk to it being your number 2, but I do like it. It's not bad. I'd prefer if you had a better second wide receiver in conjunction with the Dillon running back 2 approach, then I love it. You know, kind of like the team prior, 3 lit wide receivers in that light running back 2 felt good. This one right here, I feel like I love Pitts, I love Javonte, I love JJ, I love Hurts. You're very, very good. You are one potential move away. And I don't know that you can find that on your bench other than waiting on Pollard or trading like Penny and James Cook, or, you know, something like that, which I don't think you're going to get anything yet. You got to hope that Pollard either climbs up and becomes very valuable to you to where you don't even want to trade him and you can win your league because of it, or Cook, or you could trade one of them and upgrade Dillon potentially, or just keep Dillon and upgrade your flex. But very good team. Not sure you can do too much yet. Let it ride out. Full team in my last Best Ball Mania 3. Again, if anybody wants to not have their season go crashing down to injury, get on over to Underdog. Use the link that I pinned in the live chat and in the description. Promo code Smitty gets attached to that link. Or if you go there without the link, make sure you enter how did you hear about us? Promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 of your first deposit. And you don't have to deposit $100. You can deposit a $10 minimum, and they'll give you 10 more, and you can play 4 leagues. You could have 4 leagues tonight, and it ends probably tonight or tomorrow, the puppies. Ron, I didn't see your response. I believe the puppies will end probably tonight or tomorrow. And you have a chance to get in 4 brand new leagues. They'll be best ball, but there's fun. There's a lot of goodness about that. There's no lineups. There's no ad drops. They're one and done, but you get to monitor your placing all year. You can do 4 brand new leagues that go into one pot to win or to win thousands of prizes or hundreds of prizes. But I mean, why not play and do that? So go click the link, promo code Smitty. His team was Burrow, Cousins is 1 QB, but there's optimal scoring. So Ron Navy and I draft very good QBs, 2 of them to rotate in optimal scoring, because it decides for you who to start. It's a big advantage. Burrow and Cousins, Javonte, Dameon Pierce, Walker, Algier, Brian Robinson, Jalen Warren, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, St. Brown, Hopkins, Pickens, Gray, Danny Gray, Irv Smith, Moali Cox. That's a really good team, Ron. I like that. Looks similar to one of the ones I drafted last night. Pocket Sand says flex problem, PPR. Mike Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damian Harris, Breece Hall, Treylon Burks, Kadarius Toney, C. Watson, and Kittle is out. Drop one and pick up Njoku, Everett, or Hooper. No trades. I mean, all 3 of those guys are kind of similar. I feel like Hooper might be safest, but less upside. Everett's probably got the most upside, but a little bit of risk because we don't know what his full role is going to be yet. I suppose Everett would be kind of the crafty move. And Njoku, every year we talk Njoku up and he never does it, so I don't know. I kind of lean Everett, but that's a tough one. As far as your team here, flex problem, Michael Thomas, Clyde. Michael Thomas is hurt, so it's Breece Hall for me. Treylon Burks could be the safest because of volume, but I don't know that I trust a rookie yet in that offense yet. Give me Clyde unless Clyde give me Hall unless Clyde's looking really, really amped and you hear some news, or come on Saturday night and we'll talk about it. We'll try to figure out if there's a change in that. I missed the super chat. I definitely got to that. Derek says, pick 2 flex full PPR, Penny, Pollard, AJ Dillon, Ayuk, Lockett, Judy. Pick 2 full PPR. AJ Dillon and Judy. I don't mind Ayuk over Judy if you're a big Niner supporter and you want to watch him. I understand. Penny's interesting as well, but give me AJ Dillon and Judy personally. But that's me. But it's very, very close, and I wouldn't blame you leaning one direction or the other. It's very, very, very close. Eric, appreciate you. Ron Navy, appreciate you. Pocket Sand, Jacob, Derek Just, you guys all rock. Andy, thank you guys so much. I think we're almost done with the super chats. Don Draper says Superflex trade Dak and DK QB upgrade. Let's see. Superflex trade Dak and DK for a QB upgrade. Dak and DK. No, I don't. I mean, even if you got like a Josh Allen, depends on your depth. If you have the depth to do that and you're putting in like a St. Brown or a something like that, then of course I would do a 2-for-1. But I can't imagine DK's expendable. And if he is, then yes, I would do it. But if he's, Dak's good enough. Dak's good enough. He's going to be a top 5 or 6 quarterback, potentially. It might end up finishing, 7th, but he's like 10 points away from 4th. Like they're going to be close. I would only do it if it's expendable. And I don't know the answer to that, but I definitely feel like it's something I would consider if you had tons and tons of depth. For flex, ETN, A-Rob, Gabe Davis, Bateman. Diggs in the lineup, or trades can send out those guys to get one solid player back in return. Okay, so ETN is probably my pick here. I don't mind A-Rob, but again, matchup and the fact that I want to see how Stafford is and to see how A-Rob gels. Gabe Davis might be the safest in PPR if you wanted to go safe. ETN's like a higher risk, higher reward, but Gabe Davis is pretty steady. I'd probably go Gabe Davis. I'm going to change my mind to Gabe Davis. It's crazy I'm starting Gabe Davis over ETN, but Gabe Davis is just that good. He's safe. Michael Vaughn says, trade Mixon for Cup. PPR. Of course, you take, no matter what you have, you do this trade because you can flip Cup for more than Mixon. So I take Mixon in a heartbeat. Thank you for the super chat. G Money, appreciate your super chat, good buddy. Trade Dobbins for Pierce or ask for more. Trade Dobbins for Pierce or ask for more? G Money, you know me by now, bro. Punch that. Get Dameon Pierce in a heartbeat for J.K. Dobbins. I give up 3 J.K. Dobbins for Dameon Pierce.
You've just been Smitty approved.
You pull that off, man. You're going to get a standing O. Let us know once it's done. We'll give you a standing O inside the building here. Fantasy football just posted breaking about Pierce. He said he's been talking about him since the May. That's funny. Lineup, Herbert, Swift, Javonte, JJ, Diggs, Pittman need a flex. You got to post the whole thing, though, Jay. Your chat is so far back there, I wouldn't even be able to find it at this point. But if you give me the name, that's a great team. That's a great team. I love seeing it. JJ, Diggs, Pitts, unbelievable squad. Or if that's Pittman or Pitts, I don't know. Oh, Pittman. Let me make that name come out. There you go. Herbert, Swift, Javonte, JJ, Diggs, Pittman, flex. Give me the list again. I'll try and look for your avatar. So I'm not saying you have to super chat again. I'll keep looking for it. ETN, Pollard, or Dameon Pierce in my week 1 flex. Michael K. CPA. Give me Dameon Pierce, bro. I love ETN, but give me Dameon Pierce. Michael K. CPA. That's the man right there. That's the man. The highest super chatter of the year. $512 tonight. He dropped $512 in a single live stream. You're looking at a genius right here. You're looking at an investor in the Fantasy Football Show brand. When he goes to the bar and he's leaning over to get a drink and they say, "What do you do?" And he goes, "I'm an investor." "Oh yeah? What do you invest in?" "The Fantasy Football Show, baby." And you're an investor in the Fantasy Football Show? Michael K. CPA lifts his pinky up, takes a sip of his drink and says, "You bet your bottom dollar." And this man just is working. That's what Denny does. That's what Denny does when he goes to the bar. Appreciate you, Michael K. This one's from, I don't know how you say your name. Casillo. I'm not going to butcher it. I'm just going to call you Big C. Big C says, I traded Sanders, Scott, and Wilson. I assume that is Zach Wilson. For Damian Harris and Algier. If it's Jeff Wilson, doesn't matter. Zach Wilson, Jeff Wilson, same thing in my mind. Sanders, Scott, Wilson for Damian Harris, Algier. I don't know how I feel about that because I want to say the Eagle running back would do well, but I don't know that I like these Eagle running backs. I think Kenneth Gainwell could be the guy. Sanders and Scott is decent. But Damian Harris and Algier have a little bit more upside. It's one of those deals I don't love on either side, though, to be honest. But I certainly would rather have that Algier side because I think Algier might be the better player of the group. Okay, let's get on over to the trades. And I think I got all the super chats knocked out. I'm going to look for 2JK. Traded down from the 2 and gave up the 7/8 round pick. I'm looking for Smitty trade advice, get the 2nd round pick. I did the Smitty trade advice to get a second round pick. Nice job. You're talking about how you got that team. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. I'm looking for your message there. Okay, let's get over to the trades. The show's an hour and a half long. We got to get into this. My sell now list. Somebody at the very top of the show said, why would you sell JT? That's just plain stupid to sell JT. It isn't dumb to trade JT. If you can get a Swift and a wide receiver like A.J. Brown, is it really dumb? Would you trade JT for Swift and A.J. Brown? I know I would. Would you trade JT for Swift and A.J. Brown? I know I would. This guy would. Would you trade JT for Javonte and Dameon Pierce? I would. Would you trade JT for Joe Burrow if you had no quarterback and Javonte, or Joe Burrow and or Hurts? Maybe somebody drafted Hurts as a second quarterback. There are a lot of reasons you might make a trade trading away JT. I don't care. There's no untouchable player. If you say, I'm sorry, but I'm just not trading JT, he's untouchable. Or I'm sorry, I'm not trading Justin Jefferson, he's untouchable. You're not making the best decision for your team if that trade is an offer you can't refuse. If you are just stuck on not trading a player, then you're putting yourself in a position where you're not going to get better when an opportunity is there to get better. So I would say most certainly I would trade any one of these guys on this list. I would trade Javonte if I owned him. He's my buy. If I could get Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown for Javonte, because I have Javonte and Swift so close, I would make that trade. If I could upgrade my quarterback from let's say Aaron Rodgers to a Mahomes, and I could swap out Javonte and Swift, I would do that. Like, those are the kind of moves I'm talking about. So everybody should, if you look at your team, do an inward look, an honest inventory of your squad, and you say, I can't win. If you can't win, if you look at your team and you say there's 3 teams that are better than me, I'm being honest with myself. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm saying you did horrible drafting. You look in the mirror, you're upset. Okay? And you got to trade JT. You got to trade JT. There are a lot of people that are going to come get JT. There are a lot of people that were willing to overpay for JT. So if you need to make a trade, do it. Henry, same thing. Do I trade Henry low? No. Do I trade CMC low? No. If you've already made the commitment to trade or to draft Henry and CMC, 2 very injury-prone players, you need to fully commit or trade them high. And if you can trade them high, then you can trade them high. And I would do it. Would I trade Henry for Javonte and something straight up? Absolutely. You could give me St. Brown, you could give me DK Metcalf, you could give me anybody even remotely close to those kinds of players in conjunction with Javonte, because quietly I like Javonte more than I like Derrick Henry. Quietly I like Javonte more than I like CMC. Quietly I like Swift more than I like Henry or CMC. That's me. That's me. Trade JT for Javonte Williams and DK. Yes, I would do that. I would do that. Edmonds I get rid of while the value's high. The value is through the roof right now. I feel like he's one of the most tradable players, period. One of the most tradable players, period. Thank you. Appreciate you, Michael. Send me a check. You don't send me a check. Trade JT for Chase and Dillon. I don't know about that one, Tiffany. I don't know about that one. That one's a little too close for comfort, I think. It's me. Jay says IDP full PPR. Let's see this team here. That's pretty good, man. CMC, Chubb, Keenan Allen, Brown, Waddle. Waddle concerns me a little bit. Hollywood Brown. It's a good team. It's a good team. I consider trying to trade similar to what we're talking about here. Would I trade CMC for Javonte or Swift to upgrade one of your wide receivers? Maybe you could take Hollywood Brown and turn him into Deebo Samuel Maybe you could take Hollywood Brown and turn him into A.J. Brown. Would I take Javonte or Swift and swap out CMC to upgrade my Hollywood Brown to Debo or Diggs or even A.J. Brown? Yes, I would. Tyreek Hill? Yes, I would. That's where I would go with this team. I would just explore CMC. What can you get for him? What can you get for him? Edmonds, trade him right away. Akers, trade him right away. I've already talked about this enough. Jacobs, he's going to lose his job. Jacobs is going to lose his job to Zamir White at some point. We've talked about Zamir White on the channel. We've got our waiver wire order for week number 1. Preemptive waiver wire order. Rachaad White ranking number 1. Of course, if Kenneth Walker's sitting on waivers and he was cut in an uncomfortable amount of leagues. Not enough leagues to cover a grand scale of people so that if I come out on my waiver wire show and say, number 1 waiver wire pickup is Kenneth Walker, everyone's going to be like, Kenneth Walker's not on waivers, but he was cut in enough uncomfortable amount of leagues that I want to make sure I talked about him and put him in like slot 0. Okay, because if he's there, you need to grab him. Okay, that's a no-brainer, obvious number 1 overall pickup of the year. If Kenneth Walker got dropped by some bozo in your league and now you get to swoop in and drop your $100 out of $100, and yes, I would do that. I would do that. Rachaad White's number 1. But here, this man Zamir White ranking in as like a tied for 3rd. Zamir White could win leagues in 2022. I love Zamir White. This is your waiver wire list. If you want a breakdown on everything you see right in front of you, go to my week 1 waiver wire show about 3 or 4 videos back. Did it like less than 48 hours ago, but I crank out so much content. It's like 4 videos back. Go check that out because I talk about a lot about why I love Zamir White so much. Zamir White's taking Jacobs' job. J.K. Dobbins, I'm not going near. I talked about that at the top of the show in the news segment. Same thing with Godwin. Get rid of these guys before it's too late. Go trade for Javonte while he's still being treated like a second-round pick. He's not a second-round pick. Nobody should be drafting or trading for Javonte at first-round value. If you do that, you are potentially setting yourself up for more disappointment or odds of more disappointment than you are of hitting a home run. I still think he will be a top 5 overall player. I firmly believe Javonte could be the number 1 running back in 2022, but you have to protect yourself. You can't go with that information and say, Smitty, this is what I get from people. And I make them take laps like crazy. They come in and say, Smitty, I'm looking at it and I'm number 5. And I know you said not to take Javonte in the first round. I heard you. Smitty. I hear you. I feel you. Brofist. But I just wanted to say, because I probably won't get Javonte in the second round, should I maybe just take him at pick number 5, Smitty? I'm just curious. No. The advantage, the explosion, the win a league potential resides in that he's the 2.1 or beyond. He's the best 2.1 or beyond pick in fantasy football. Your best second drafted player. Now you trade for him. You don't trade for him at top 5 overall value. You trade for him with second round value. And if you got to throw in a 5th rounder, 6th round, 7th round talent to kind of top it off, then so be it. Or you go after a player I quietly like less anyway and is ranked higher, like Henry or CMC, get Javonte and something, and you're buying at a steal. You're buying at an absolute steal. Go get Javonte. Go get Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. This man is going to throw 40 touchdowns with a cigar in his mouth. In the helmet. Throwing 40 to 45 touchdown passes. Cigar Smoking Joseph Burrow. Buy him now. Where do you buy him? Well, you just got an opportunity to draft him at 6th or 7th round value. And if you don't own him in the league we're talking about, you either took a quarterback too early and didn't wait on Burrow, or you missed on him. So he's worth 6th round value. Don't go paying 3rd round value. He wins the league. Swift. I've already talked about Swift and Javonte till blue in the face tonight. Go get him. Tony Pollard season's underway. Tony Pollard could win leagues. Tony Pollard could be a top 6 to 10 running back in fantasy football 2022. Did I just turn the mic off? 2022. Pollard could be an absolute monster. I plead to you to draft this guy, to trade for this guy, to get him at the value that makes him a home run, though. We're talking 7th round value, maybe 6th, but 7th round value. It's home run material. The Harvest said, hey, Smitty, I've listened to all of your advice and grabbed all the people you said to get in my drafts. God bless you. Thank you, Harvest. I hope you got him at the right spots. That's the most important thing. People coming to me, I took Javonte at 5 overall. You better be right. Don't put me in that position. I'm not getting in that boat with you. I did what you said. I took Javonte at number 5 overall. I said nothing of the sort. I said smash your league. Take over, take control, blast them. Take over everybody. Dominate your league. Blast everybody to pieces by taking Javonte in round 2 where he's protected, the risk is baked in, and he's nothing but upside. I firmly believe this man's going to absolutely explode. Javonte is the better player. I agree he is. Okay. Etienne. Travis Etienne is so disrespected right now because of James Robinson. But Smitty, I'm hearing James Robinson's going to get a lot of carries. Well, good for him. Good for him. He's going to get a lot of carries and look very mediocre. Guess what? I don't care. James Robinson, nobody cares. Snoop Connor's going to do it. If he doesn't do it, someone's got to do it. My grandma could do it. Someone needs to run the football when Etienne's not running the football and when Etienne's out catching passes, playing an Austin Eckler back in the day when Eckler was more wide receiver than he was running back. He was 500-yard rushing capable and 900 to 1,000 receiving capable. That was the best version of Austin Eckler. I miss that version of Austin Eckler. But guess what happened when Austin Eckler was that type of player? They had a first and second down running back. No one cares about James Robinson. Good for him. He'll be back. I actually am happy for him. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he gets like 800, 900 yards rushing. I do. You probably think that that's crazy. No, it's not, because you only want Etienne getting X amount of work. I don't care. I don't care. I want James Robinson to be the guy. He's less efficient. I'd rather have him be the guy than Snoop Connor. A.J. Brown is going to be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. It's a big range because of the injury risk to the knees and him missing 3 or 4 games. But when he's on the field, he's going to be an absolute monster. And everybody that thinks he's a very low volume guy is tying Tennessee to him, which is ridiculous. Tying Tennessee to him is a ridiculous situation, and it makes you undervalue A.J. Brown to the tune of making one of the bigger third-round mistakes you could make in 2022, overlooking A.J. Brown's win-a-league potential and upside inside round 3 because you're tying him to a situation in Tennessee. He's a low-volume guy. But Smitty, he never got a lot of volume in Tennessee. He just was very efficient. And if he's not efficient, he won't get the numbers. So are we really worried about A.J. Brown in Philly? No, I'm just speaking out of my rear end for the fun of it. I'm actually lying to you. When someone says, Smitty, but if we're being honest, are you really worried about A.J. Brown? No. Why would I not be honest? Why would I come out here and blow smoke up your rear end and just talk out of mine? Okay, A.J. Brown's an absolute monster, a maniac, a guy that could catch 100 balls in Philly. And if you think for a second that Jalen Hurts is some dink and dunk passer that can't throw downfield, you don't know what you're talking about. And you haven't watched any footage on Jalen Hurts. And you don't realize when Jalen Hurts first came in as a rookie the year before last, he played 2 games. And what did Jalen Hurts do at his first 2 NFL starts for the Philadelphia Eagles? He threw back-to-back 300-yard games, one of which he scored 4 total touchdowns. He was everybody's favorite dynasty quarterback after 2 starts. Then he had kind of a mediocre second half, and Doug Peterson benched him in his 3rd start and completely started unraveling his career as fast as he could. Then Doug Peterson was ousted that offseason. Then Sirianni comes in, starts talking about trading up in the draft, maybe replacing him, and no confidence whatsoever in this kid Jalen Hurts. He comes out, has a phenomenal year considering, does dink and dunk a little bit because he has no weapons, nowhere close to where he's sitting right now. Goddard primed to break out, getting his full season as a starter now. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith went through a tough rookie year in that situation. Now he could potentially break out. I love Devontae Smith as a wide receiver 3-4 this year. As a wide receiver 3, love Devontae Smith. In fact, put Devontae Smith on this list too. Let's put Devontae on here. Let's put D. Smith on here. Let me make these guys a little smaller. Let me put Smith right here. Go get D. Smith right now in drafts. go trade for him in leagues where you can toss him into the deal. Devontae Smith is going to take a big step forward, and if A.J. Brown does miss any time, which could happen, D. Smith to the moon. D. Smith maybe
To the moon.
to the moon anyway. I love
From the fantasy football.
I love this Philly offense so much. They're going to ball out. And anybody that thinks it's going to be dink and dunk time, maybe you haven't realized that A.J. Brown's on the team. Maybe you don't realize that this is an arsenal, not a dink and dunk facility or a little Mickey Mouse passing attack. This is a air it out arsenal. And guess what? This is going to be very uncomfortable for you to hear if you are a Jalen Hurts hater or doubter. He is capable out of any other quarterback in the entire National Football League. He's just as capable as being a top 5 quarterback in terms of being likely to throw for a 300 or 400 yard game. There is literally 3 or 4 quarterbacks maybe that are more likely to throw for a 300 or 400 yard game in any given game than Jalen Hurts. He is the definition of a quarterback that's going to run for 80 to 100 yards in one game, then the next game throw for 420. Or 375. The fact that people think this guy is limited already after 1 year of playing football as a starting quarterback in an offense where his coach doubted him and he didn't have the weapons. Jalen Hurts is about to drop so much fire on all the doubters out there that think he can't be a 300-yard passer on the regular. Get ready. It's going to be very uncomfortable, and you're going to wish you didn't have all this on record that you doubted the kid. He's going to absolutely explode in 2022. So there you have it. These are my buy low. Stevenson, go get Stevenson. This kid could be a high-end running back too. High-end running back too. Why would you sell JT? Only if your team needs to make a move, bro. Not every list on here is a void. And so go back and watch it. I know you just got here, pranks, and I don't want you to misinterpret what's going on here. JT is such a good asset to sell if your team just isn't built to win. If you're looking at your honest inventory, looking in the mirror, and you say, I didn't draft the best team. There are 3 teams that are better than me. You got to make moves, bro. You can't just hang on to a player and say, well, I like him. You got to trade him. You got to trade him, and you got to go get a guy like Javonte or Swift and get another big component and try and build that team out. Smitty, I don't like your tone. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. You want me to whisper? All right, so that's the week 1 buy low, sell high. Walking into week 1, Smitty, would you trade for Etienne and Diggs? Would I trade JT for Etienne and Diggs in a heartbeat? I would take Etienne and Diggs. That is the kind of trade I'm talking about. Romez says trade Terry and Etienne for Lamb. Terry and Etienne for Lamb. Probably not. I would rather have Etienne and Lamb. I think you guys are undervaluing Etienne right now. I don't know what the Etienne doubt is right now. James Robinson is really scaring anybody. That's ridiculous. I sent you a DM on IG. Okay, Rock Out. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Kevin Williams. I have Joe Burrow, flipped Hollywood for Dillon. I like that. Flipped A.J. Dillon for Michael Carter and T. Higgins. I could get behind that. I think that could go either way, but I do not mind that. Pretty good. So you end up taking Hollywood and turning him into Higgins and Carter. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. When you look at it, the whole like point A to point C, that's pretty good, Kevin. I like that. Nice work, pal. This is Rock Out.
You know I mix it with Swifty, yeah, and mix it with Javonte, yeah, Javonte season, no reason, I be killing them, how we got it going and on, how we getting, Javonte and Swift, the good mixture, remix on the block, and how we get them, how we going, man, we don't be pretending, we be for real, we also official, referee with a whistle, keep it going, we blow the whistle, because they can't stop us, we rumble through the jungle, coming like it never like a going through the huddle to a muddle, but we keep on scoring, feasting, we there feasting with the beastin'.
Man, that was dude that doesn't stop. Like, you can say what you want about the choice of words or the beat or the tone or whatever, but that takes some skill to ramble and scramble like Rock Out just did, dropping the voicemail. One of the best impromptu rappers we've got on the show, if not the best. Absolute fire, Rock Out. I mean, he's rolling, bro. He's rolling. Open the phone line maybe for a minute. Let me just see. I got to get through these super chats here. Ryan, CMC, Chubb, Keenan Allen got pumped up from that rap there, Rock Out. Absolute fire, bro. I think I got this one. This is IDP. Oh, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate you already. Would you trade Kareem Hunt for DK? I would take DK in a heartbeat. To the moon. Appreciate you. Should I drop B-Rob for Zamir White? I don't have an IR spot. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. I probably would take Zamir White for right now because I feel like B-Rob's not going to necessarily get scrambled and scooped up potentially. Smitty has a great tone. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. Look, some people appreciate my tone. I don't know who it was. I forgot already who didn't appreciate my tone, but Sandy appreciates my tone. Look, I just mean business. I'm not, look, you could, it's like, would you rather have a soft-spoken coach on the track? You know, you're running around the track, running laps, and your coach is like, let's go ahead and take a seat, and we'll stretch out, and my stapler. Or would you rather have your coach be like, high knees, use your arms, all legs, come on, pump it, go. What do you want from your coach? Because I see myself as your coach. I see myself as, sometimes the athlete knows more than the coach. You guys are very knowledgeable, but I'm trying to keep you on track. I see the big picture. I'm here to help you. I work for you. So my tone is set appropriately, as Sandy described. Eric says Waddle is out. Is Waddle officially ruled out? As far as I know, he wasn't ruled out yet, but let's pull up the news. Brunskill did not practice Wednesday. Irv Smith not listed on the Wednesday injury report. Robbie Anderson, Rondell Moore was not listed on the injury report. J.C. Jackson is out of his walking boot. That's good news. Isaiah Spiller is practiced in full. Parham, hamstring, did not practice. We've got Juju Smith-Schuster is practicing in full with the knee issue, but he's practicing. We've got Christian Watson is practicing in full. Tunyon was limited. Tunyon's still hurt. Don't draft Tunyon to start him. I'd rather have Likely as my backup than Tunyon. Let Likely kind of ferment on the bench and get going. We've got Jacoby Myers' knee was limited Wednesday. Van Jefferson is out for week 1. That's obvious. Don't go near Van Jefferson. Next piece of news. I don't see anything about Waddle being out. Groin for Chase Edmonds limited Wednesday. Trade Chase Edmonds while you still can. Russell Gage was limited Wednesday. George Kittle did not practice. Godwin was a full participant, but there's still a lot of question marks there. Jim Harbaugh said that J.K. Dobbins' knee is ascending quickly, but he's very questionable for week 1. And even if he played, he's not ready. He's proving he's not ready. Mike Thomas wouldn't commit to, or the Dennis Allen wouldn't commit to playing Michael Thomas hamstring in week 1. Sterling Shepard was limited. Deontay Johnson's shoulder wouldn't commit to playing week 1. J.J. Watt is day-to-day. Guy cannot stay healthy. I'm in Arizona, so it's a brutal shot to me. Michael Gallup returned to practice. Don't go near Gallup this year. Alan Lazard did not practice. Good for Dobbs season. Logan Thomas was limited. Drake London said they won't know until the end of the week if Drake London's knee will be able to play week 1. That's concerning. And the Waddle news, the most recent news on Waddle, quad, will be limited in Wednesday's practice. That's all the news for you. I don't see anything yet, and they could be breaking on another platform that says that Waddle's out, but I saw somebody say Waddle's out. I don't see that Waddle's out yet. I don't have that information yet. So once I have that, I'm going to tell you about it. I'll keep you posted. Don't worry. As far as any other tweets or anything that might be going on inside the news world, Van Jefferson is out. Chris Godwin was a full participant in practice, according to Ian Rappaport. George Kittle did not practice today. Those are things I've already talked about. I don't see any other reports. There was the Lamar Jackson told reporters today that his deadline for getting a contract extension done would be this Friday for the Ravens. That is concerning. It's obviously a distraction. We'll see. So appreciate you, R. Smith, with that, but I don't see that. Maybe I misunderstood what you're trying to say on that anyway. So my bad. This is from Rora, says 14 team PPR: Hurts, Derrick Henry, Elliott, Edmonds, McLaurin, A-Rob, Mark Andrews, Colts, Melvin Gordon, Lazard, Michael Carter, Rams. Pretty solid team in a 14-teamer, I have to say. I would explore trading Edmonds and A-Rob for one better player, Elliott and McLaurin for one better running back. That's what I would do. I would Elliott and McLaurin could maybe get you. Let's see. Maybe Elliott and McLaurin could get you I'd start with whatever player you get first. So Elliott and McLaurin could get you maybe a Diggs. Maybe they could get you a player even higher than that, or maybe slightly lower. I would look to explore that. Edmonds and A-Rob could maybe get you the same type of player, but you go with running back on one side and wide receiver on the other side. I know that leaves you in a little bit of a pinch depth-wise, but I certainly I wouldn't want to hold on to Elliott and Edmonds' value and have you get nothing for them if they get taken off the field. You don't have Tony Pollard, so it's not like you've secured the Elliott-Pollard stack. The other thing you could explore is, even if you just traded, let's say you kept A-Rob, you kept McLaurin, you kept Elliott, and you explored trading like Edmonds and Henry for like one better running back traded Henry for two players, trading the one better player in Henry for, let's say, a Swift or Javonte, or if you even went as low as, like, let's say an ETN and you got a wide receiver back like Debo. ETN and Debo for Derrick Henry is a pretty decent trade, or a Diggs and a ETN or someone like that. That would be a pretty good move in my opinion for this team, if you were to get ETN in place of Henry and then you get like a Debo or somebody like Diggs to go in your wide receiver spot. Then I would potentially trade A-Rob and Elliott for another running back or wide receiver, but you could do a lot of 2-for-1s combination of Edmonds, Elliott, McLaurin, and A-Rob. Andrews, I would explore trading too. My point is, I don't know that this team is built to win right now. I would explore trades to try and beef it up, but that's me. You could always try and run it out there for week 1 and see what's what, but I certainly feel like it would be best to make that team a little bit different. Brady, Derrick Henry, Saquon, Monty, AJ Brown, AJB, Cooper Kupp, Kittle. This is a much better team. This team I like a lot, Aurora. You're putting both teams out here, and I like this one a lot more. I still entertain trading Chase Edmonds. You might be a Dolphin fan, seeing Chase Edmonds on both of these rosters. But Edmonds and, let's say, and you got Kittle hurt, so you might want to pick up a tight end. Gibson and, I don't know. I guess I would try and trade Edmonds and Saquon for one slightly better running back. I'd trade Edmonds and potentially Monty for one slightly better running back. Edmonds and Monty for even like let's see, you got AJ Brown already. I wonder if you could trade Edmonds and Monty for like a Mike Evans type player, or if you were to go running back, maybe you could get it. I don't even love Nick Chubb, but I would take a Nick Chubb over Edmonds and Monty in a heartbeat, and then maybe even try and flip Nick Chubb. But that's kind of where my mind's going with those two players and trying to get rid of Gibson. I like Gibson a lot. Don't get rid of Gibson cheaply. I like him a lot in his role, where like you don't even know if you're playing him. That's a pretty solid position to be in. You might want to cuff Brian Robinson to him. You might want to also explore, Aurora, if you could pick up Brian Robinson and put him right on IR, so you don't have to make any kind of cut at all, because most leagues have an IR spot that allows Brian Robinson to sit on it. So I would look to do that. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for both of those. The next question, looks like we got a few more. That one was, let's see. Oh, another one from Aurora. This is a different league. You got all your teams on here. 14 team: Herbert, Kamara, Saquon, A. Robinson, Elijah Moore. A lot of similar teams, a lot of similar players. I love Kyle Pitts. Kamara. This is a pretty decent team. You might have to let this one ride. I don't see any kind of trade opportunities here, other than maybe like trading Penny and, I mean, could you trade Penny and A-Rob for AJ Brown? Try that. Elijah Moore, probably not trade until he gets more value. Devontae Smith, no one's going to give you the right price for him, and I like him a lot. Kamara, I'd entertain trading Kamara for an ETN and like an AJ Brown. You know what I mean? Like dividing him up into a running back that I quietly say could hang with Kamara. Etienne could quietly hang with Kamara. Dameon Pierce could quietly hang with Kamara. And if you add in an AJ Brown, it makes dividing that one player up into two a safer approach. You don't have to make any trades either. I'm just giving you, this is a trade show. So I don't know if anybody knows that. But this is a trade show, so I'm going to give trade advice. We're doing some lineup advice too, but and rating rosters and such. But this is a trade show, buy low, sell high. So I'm trying to come up with those. I'm forcing myself, even when a team looks pretty decent, to come up with the trade ideas. So those are kind of the ideas that are coming to mind. KG Money, he declined the Dobbins for Pierce trade. I don't blame him. I guess you were cooking that up yourself, and you thought maybe I thought maybe that offer was coming your way. He declined the Dobbins for Pierce trade. Would you trade Dobbins for Ken Walker, even though the ADPs are way off? I would rather have Ken Walker than Dobbins. Yes. I don't believe in Dobbins. I don't believe he'll be healthy. I think he'll suffer other leg injuries. I think he and Mike Thomas, just like I predicted, and Akers so far, all of them are banged up. And that comes with the territory of the injuries and the compensation involved. So I'd rather have Ken Walker. I'd rather have the upside and potential. I really would. Perry says Jalen Hurts, Chase, A.J. Brown, St. Brown, Elijah Moore, Javonte, Hall, Walker, Stevenson, Hines. Absolute fire team. Appreciate the love the show, Smitty. Thank you. Appreciate you, Perry. Hurts, Chase, A.J. Brown, St. Brown, Elijah Moore, Javonte, Hall. There's not much you need to do with this team. Stevenson's going to earn you a whole bunch of trade value really soon. Hall's going to up your trade value. Walker, you don't want to make any moves. You don't want to sell low on any of these guys. Your team is perfectly set up. Just work that waiver wire. Try and work that waiver wire like you've never worked it before in any other season. And if you land the next Eli Mitchell of 2022, this goes for everybody. If you land the next Eli Mitchell 2022, game over for some of you. You're going to close the door on the opportunity some people have to catch you, because you guys are drafting amazing teams, because we're all like-minded here, and we got some amazing builds going on. Silver, appreciate you. My team sucks in my main league. Silver, I still appreciate you being here. And let's punch the Silver Rapture button. He deserves it. This guy's always in here moderating, doing good work.
Silver Rapture. I'm in there, big dog. You know I'm in there. There's two big dogs standing side by side. That's a Rottweiler and a Pit Bull. You know we're about to get it.
Silver's been with me from the beginning. Like, I want to say, Silver, you were with me when I was like at 200 subs. You know, maybe even under 100. Silver's been there from the start. Thoughts on a 16 PPR? No flex. Stafford, Eckler, Elliott, Evans, Bateman, Kittle, Rams, Broncos, bench, AJ Dillon. It's. I mean, 16 team is tough. This is a really well balanced team considering what in the necessity, because you have, okay, here's the thing. You could win this league. Aurora's got so many different teams here. I appreciate all these super chats too. Phenomenal. Is there even more? I think this might be the last one, but I appreciate you dropping a super chat for each one of these. Here's where you win this league. Stafford, that's fine. In a 16-teamer, that's perfect. Eckler, amazing you even have Eckler in this league and still have Mike Evans, okay? And Kittle. And it's a shame that Kittle went down and is hurt right now, but hopefully he gets better. Hopefully he plays. He can still play. Here's where you win the league. People are going to be scrambling for running backs because it's a 16-teamer. I venture to say you could sell a running back for a better wide receiver that got drafted higher very easily. I bet you could say, hey, Zeke Elliott's available for trade. And because you have A.J. Dillon on your bench, shove A.J. Dillon into your lineup, trade Zeke Elliott across position for a wide receiver, and you're going to get a much better value than you could have got on draft day, because people have regret and they wish they had bought a running back and their team looks like garbage. They're so worried about the running back. Just like you see the panic in here when people say, I'm worried about my running backs. I'm worried about my running backs. I'm worried about my wide receivers. What do I do? What do I do? Now you can trade Zeke Elliott for probably, I would say, and we keep using A.J. Brown. He's a great player to trade for. A.J. Brown type, a Deebo Samuel type, a Tyreek Hill. Don't settle for anything less than Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, and an A.J. Brown for right now. And I think you get that wide receiver into your wide receiver spot. Or you go after Elliott for Dameon Pierce in a so-called downgrade and try and get a bump somewhere else. But I think you use A.J. Dillon. Everybody's going to be so spread thin. I use A.J. Dillon in my lineup, and I try and get a bigger piece into that lineup on the wide receiver end. I love this team. This is a good team and a 16 team. That's really, really hard to play a 16-teamer. Hurts, Chase, A.J. Brown, St. Brown, Elijah Moore, Javonte, Hall, Walker, Stevenson, Hines. Did I already read this one? Yeah, that was the good one. That was a good one. I love the fact that you have Stevenson on the bench. He's going to gain so much value as the season moves along. This one's from Christian. Christian says, can you grade my team? QB, Lamar, running back 1, Javonte, running back 2, Breece Hall, wide receiver, Adams, Waddle, Schultz, flexes, Singletary, benches, Pollard. Very, very solid. I feel like you need maybe, I'm assuming this is a 12-man league, and you've got Lamar, Javonte, Breece Hall. You need Breece Hall to step up quick. You need Waddle to stay healthy. Dalton Schultz is fantastic. Waddle to stay healthy. Tony Pollard rising up wouldn't hurt, right? If that happened, you'd be in the money. Hit that waiver wire. Like I said, you get that next Eli Mitchell, and it's game over. You know, would I trade anybody? Probably not. I think I kind of roll this out. I work that waiver wire. I try and wait on Tony Pollard. Maybe Tony Pollard's your flex. Kind of like Tony Pollard more than Singletary in this week 1, but that's me. I like rolling the dice a little bit. Burks could have good value. Gordon, you could sell Gordon and potentially Singletary for one better, one wide receiver that's better because you're giving up running back, a scarcity. I'd maybe go in that direction. R. Smith says, thoughts about Izuka, whatever his name is. I don't want to butcher his name. Izukama. If Waddle's out, I don't know, bro. I'm not banking on anybody like that until we know what's what. First of all, Waddle probably, if I had to guess, Waddle's going to play. If he doesn't, there's got to be better options right out there. But R. Smith, I appreciate your super chat. I think that's what you're trying to type earlier. I'm sorry I didn't answer that. Christian right here also, who from my team can I package for Swift? Let's go back up to your squad real quick. Who for your team can you package for Swift? It would have to be like Waddle and Breece Hall, bro. And I would try that. I would definitely do that. If he'll do that, that's the only option you have. The only other thing you could do is trade Javonte, and I don't want you trading Javonte. But no one's going to give you Swift without getting a running back. I highly, highly doubt it. And your only other running back I would trade at all would be Breece Hall, who I like. But if you could trade Waddle and Breece Hall for Swift, I would do that trade in a heartbeat because I love Swift that much. I love Breece Hall, but I love Swift that much. Thank you for your super chat. This one from Who That What That says, who would you trade JT for? I've gone over that in extensive detail, but I'll say it again. Swift, Javonte, and then get another piece. Another like AJ Brown obviously would be ideal. But if you had to go, let's say you had no quarterback and somebody had Hurts and Burrow because they're a weird drafter, and they trade you one of those because now they're panicking why they even did the thing. Maybe you could get a McLaurin, or I don't know if DK Metcalf's enough because he's going so late, but AJ Brown would certainly apply. AJ Brown and Javonte for JT, I'd take that in a heartbeat. Dameon Pierce and Swift for JT, I would take that in a heartbeat. Those are the kind of moves that I'm recommending people make. Not that they should just trade JT just to trade him, or that I'm predicting a decline or anything like that, but I would certainly use his elevated value that doesn't feel like it's really that much higher than Swift or Javonte, to be honest. I don't think it is. Work team, 12-team PPR, Ryan, Cousins, Connor, Hall, Mitchell, Pollard, Jamal Williams, JJ, Mike Williams, Mooney, Nico Collins, and Muth. Connor, Hall, Mitchell. It's a good team. JJ, Mike Williams. It's a good team. But I feel like it's lacking a little bit. I feel like, I don't know. Let's see. Your first rounder was JJ. Your second rounder was who? Who was your second round pick? Was it Connor? Because I feel like you had to have reached somewhere really, really big. JJ, who am I missing? JJ, Mike Williams. I don't know. It's either Connor, and then I think you reached again for Hall in round 3, unless you drafted early. Hall did have like a round 3 value at one point during the offseason, but Connor is a reach in 2. If I've got this right, unless this is like Superflex, which I don't see you say Superflex anywhere. I do see you have 2 QBs, but you may have gone like QB early or something, but I can't figure out what it is. But you definitely need to make a move. I don't know that this team can win the league without making a move. Unfortunately, you'd have to get rid of JJ. Unless you're going to package like Mooney and Mitchell for, like, and you crush it and land Javonte or something. Then, I mean, explore those ideas first. But you might have to trade Javonte, get a DK, and I'm sorry, JJ. Trade JJ for like a DK or an AJ Brown and an ETN, or something. Like I think that's probably going to have to be the way you take this team. I don't know that it can. I can't imagine in a 12-teamer it's the best team right now is all I'm saying. Or you could play it out and just land the next Eli Mitchell and hope that you do. But I would make a move. I would probably dilute one player into 2. That's just me. $10 hauler from Carlos, and thank you for the super chat, by the way. $10 hauler from Carlos. Look at Michael KCPA dropping that super chat. Look at this. $512 hauler tonight. Monster. Let's put that on screen here. Let me grab that. Michael KCPA monster. Look at this monster right here. Rate my team. Burrow, Keenan Allen, Cooks, Devontae Smith, Godwin, Dalvin Cook, Swift. So you got Dalvin Cook, Swift. You got Devontae Smith, Cooks, Keenan Allen, Burrow. Pretty good. Pretty good. What can you do? Darren Waller is a great tight. I mean, it's very balanced. Swift, Dalvin, Swift, Waller, Keenan Allen, Cooks, Burrow. Very, 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 well-rounded. Eli Mitchell. I don't know. I mean, I always entertain getting rid of Waller and trying to, beef up, let's say, into an elite wide receiver somehow. Waller, and you might have to give up something, but like, let's say you give up Waller and Cooks. Could you give up Waller or do you have Cooks? You have Waller and who's your wide receiver? Waller and Brandon Cooks for like one of the top wide receivers. Go as high as you can go. Go all the way up to the top and start working your way down. At a certain point, I wouldn't do the trade, but like Adams, Waller and Cooks for Devontae Adams. Why not? Why not try for that? I feel like that's what I would probably do with that team. Shannon, appreciate your super chat. $10 hauler. Shannon says, offer Kamara, Gallup, Jalen Tolbert for CeeDee Lamb and Ramondre Stevenson. Kamara, Gallup, Tolbert for Lamb and Ramondre. I'd take Lamb and Ramondre. I would. I think Ramondre's got enough upside, and even if it doesn't work out, let's say he gets benched or cut or goes missing on a hike on some weekend in the near future, and it's Kamara versus Lamb, it's very arguable. I'd probably draft Lamb over Kamara with the potential risk of, the full tape leaking and him being done. I have Lamb, A-Rob, DJ Moore. Okay, so you're offered Kamara. Okay, so then I'd say no. I don't want Kamara in that trade. I'd rather keep Stevenson and Lamb. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. It's arguable if you believe in Kamara. If you don't think he'll miss any time, then don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm just projecting that Ray Rice video got released. The Kareem Hunt video got released. Seems very likely this video is going to get released, and when it does, it's a very bad video. From what I hear from people I trust very much, the video is so bad, the full video is so bad that the NFL will be fully pressured to take him off the field. So everyone's going to just keep drafting Kamara, and let's call it a 60% chance he doesn't get removed from the field. Call it a 70% chance. Let's say it's 75 that the video never gets released, or gets released and it's not as bad as we think. I still feel like I would take Lamb and Stevenson. So I wouldn't make that trade myself. And then what was there another question in here? I have Lamb, A-Rob, DJ Moore, T. Higgins, CMC, Dillon, Stevenson. I'd rather trade DJ Moore. Try DJ Moore and Dillon for Kamara if you're going to go that route. You know, or go after... CMC. I kind of like CMC and Dillon. I mean, maybe upgrade DJ Moore using A-Rob. Let's see, A-Rob and... I mean, maybe A-Rob and Stevenson or DJ Moore and Stevenson for just one better player. Even if it's like a Tyreek Hill, you know, or a Debo. I'd probably go that direction rather than go that Kamara direction. But I would do the lower end of that trade, you know, the Dillon and a receiver, not necessarily giving up on that same exact package. Like, I'd rather have Lamb. I wouldn't give up Lamb in that deal. Here's to your tone, Smitty. Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate that some people appreciate my tone. I know my tone's not for everybody. I'm not ever yelling at anybody in particular. I get hyped up. I get passionate. You want a passionate person out here talking about this, right? Should I start Stevenson over Hall in week 1? I'd be tempted to, but we kind of need to wait for the news and the buzz. For now, I lean that way, but have your finger on the button, because if some news breaks about Breece Hall getting some kind of bigger volume than anybody ever planned, we need to punch that button. St. Brown and A.J. Dilley or Stevenson and Javonte. Give me Javonte and Stevenson in a heartbeat. And I like St. Brown. I like all 4 of these guys, but in a heartbeat. Javonte in a heartbeat. I think Javonte is just so undervalued right now. It's crazy. That's why he's on this buy list. That's why he's number 1 on the buy list. Oscar, you rock, Smitty. No, Oscar, you rock. And I work for you, Oscar. Okay? Don't forget that. Kyle says 12-team PPR. I got Kyler, CMC, Breece Hall, Waddle, Andrews, Miles, Tony, Elijah Moore, Dotson. My brain's fried. It's hard to even read anymore. Kyler, CMC, Breece Hall, Keenan Allen, Waddle, Andrews. Very solid ideas. I suppose I'd get rid of Miles Sanders the first second I could. Miles Sanders and Waddle for a slightly better player overall. Tyreek Hill comes to mind. End of round 2 to turn into round 3 players come to mind. I'm always interested in breaking up Andrews into a Freiermuth or Dawson Knox, or depending on who's on waivers, like a Cole Kmet, and just roll with that and get an entirely free player like Debo. And people are interested in that after the whistle blows and people have their drafts already. People like acquiring Andrews. Maybe they botched their tight end drafting and they're just scared to death about it. Just like people get scared about the running backs after the draft. You're the GOAT, Daddy. Would you do Dameon Pierce, Julio, and Gabe Davis for Saquon? Non-PPR. I don't know. I feel like I'd want to, but I feel like trade value wise, you're not getting enough. So I probably would say you need to request more. Dameon Pierce, Julio, and Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis and Pierce a lot, but I feel like you should be getting more. So I'm going to say no, even though I kind of want to say yeah on that. I really do like Pierce and Gabe almost more than Saquon, but it just comes down to trade value. It just really does. My buddy is pretty fantasy savvy. Is Fournette and Pierce or Elliott too much for his Swift? Fournette, I'd keep Pierce. Don't trade Pierce. Fournette and Elliott in a heartbeat for DeAndre Swift. Would I ultimately trade Elliott and Pierce for Swift? Yes. Would I trade Fournette and Pierce for Swift? Maybe not, because of the value of Fournette is a little higher than that. I can buy a used car. Brian says Kirk, Lance, Cook, Javonte, Pierce, Stevenson, and Pittman, Deontay, Goodwin, Michael Thomas, Boyd, Watts, Irv Smith. Okay. Cook, Javonte, Pierce. My brain is so fried. Lance, Pittman, Deontay. I like it. I mean, do I trade Deontay and Stevenson for A.J. Brown if I can? The answer is yes. I don't even know what button to put it. I was going to press a button. It's fine. Yeah, go ahead and make that trade. Pittman and Stevenson for Diggs. Maybe Tyreek Hill. Maybe you like Stevenson and Pittman more than Tyreek Hill. I don't know. Would I go after Swift using Stevenson and Pittman? Yes. Would I go after Swift using Deontay and Pierce? Yes. Those are just a couple. Brian, appreciate your super chat, pal. Rosie, appreciate your super chat here. Lamar, Cook, Swift, Pittman, Bateman, Hunt, Pierce, Akers, Lockett, McKenzie, Jamal, Njoku. What should I do at wide receiver? Rate my team. Lamar, Cook, Swift, Pittman, Bateman. I'd say like it's a 7. I don't think it's an 8 or 9 or 10 or anything like that. Doesn't mean that you can't make it that way with one single move. I think Pierce is your key here. Like you got Pittman, Pierce. I'd say 7.5 because Pierce is such a valuable asset that you have sitting right there. It's almost like he's buried in there too. So absolute phenomenal asset to maybe throw around. Bateman and Pierce for Diggs, Hill, or Debo. I'm going after that. Or Akers. Better yet, Akers. Trade Akers. Bateman and Akers for A.J. Brown. Keep Pierce. Bateman and Akers for A.J. Brown. Lockett. Throw in Lockett. Lockett, Bateman, and Akers. Give up those. Give up all 3. Put them in a nice little box. Put a bow on it. And try and get a slightly better receiver. And then you're fine. Then work the waiver wire. Smash the waiver wire. Don't let anybody beat you out on the waiver wire. And you boom. What's up? Appreciate you, Guy. Guy says got offered Swift trade away A.J. Brown. Take it? Yes, take Swift over A.J. Brown in a heartbeat. Terry Roberts dropping a $20 holler.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy. Terry. He's scary. Terry's on the loose. Terry's on patrol. Terry, I appreciate you, good buddy. Terry says, Kenny Powers, Silver Rapture, Blackbeard, James Conklin. Without you guys, without your guys' help, I would not be where I am today. I'm grateful. Love the show. Love all my friends, and I have made for life. Sorry, I'm completely brain fried. Now I will never be scared of drafting again. Like Terry crushes draft. Terry's become such a good drafter watching the show. So Terry, appreciate all your super chat loyalty and just being here. Everybody loves you, pal. And you're an amazing moderator as well. Thank you for always being on patrol. Burrow, Chase, Evans, Mike Williams, Pickens, Dobbs, Swift, Pierce, Pollard, Algier, Rashad White, Goddard. Pick 9, 12-man league. Very, very good team. Very good. I don't think I touch it. It's like after I look at it again, like I read it and I was like, okay, 7. But then I read it again. I'm like 8. Read it again. I'm like 8.2. Read it again at 8.4. Like I keep going up. Chase, Burrow, Swift is basically the tripod. It's a cousin of the tripod.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Javonte Williams.
I mean, you have the cousin, the Burrow, Jamar Chase, and instead of Javonte, you got Swift. It's a phenomenal team, and to have Pierce on it, and to also have Mike Evans and Mike Williams in a 12-team league, it's probably I would say I'm moving it to like 8.9 out of 10. I only leave a lot of room because you can always get that extra player on waivers. I want to motivate you, but like you're inching toward a 9 out of 10. It was such an underrated look too. When I first saw it, I read it off, and I'm like, maybe because I had the font small. And the bigger I make it, the better the team looks. It's amazing. And this is another $10 hauler from my boy Joe. Joe, I appreciate you, good buddy, good pal. Hey, how are you doing? Pick 2 For my bench, Jamal Williams, Burkhead, Eno Benjamin, or Pacheco. Probably say Pacheco. This is for your bench. I'd say Pacheco and Eno Benjamin. These two are very, very talented, and they're probably two of the most likely of what you listed and in general of being guys that owners are scrambling for coming out of week one. If, let's say, Connor went down, you'd be in the money, bro. $5 hauler from Deluxe. Appreciate you. Trade CMC and Hollywood for CD, Zeke, and Jacobs. CMC and Hollywood for CD, Zeke, and Jacobs. Negative. I'd rather keep CMC. I'd rather look for a different deal. I have Devontae, Damian. I don't even care who's on the team because that's just not a deal I would do. CMC and Hollywood for Zeke, no way. Zeke and Jacobs, I don't even like Zeke and Jacobs at all. There's no way I would do that deal at all. Give me the CMC side. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, pal. I appreciate you. 10-man PPR. Thoughts I did good, but not sure anymore. Brady, Henry, Chubb, Chase, Waddle, Freiermuth, Jacobs, Mitchell, Ayuk, Patterson, Amari Cooper, Rashad White, Tips. Very, very good squad. I probably take, just leave Henry, Chubb, and Brady alone in Chase because, what I trade may be like Jacobs and Waddle for an A.J. Brown or a Tyreek Hill. Yes, try that. Try poking around at players that are slightly better than Waddle using Jacobs because I think Jacobs could leave you hanging. Pick up Zamir White after, so the player you trade Jacobs to, you actually end up having the starter anyway. Would I potentially... I like Mitchell. Mitchell's kind of crafty. Would I trade Jacobs and Chubb for Javonte? Boom. Jacobs and Chubb for Swift? Boom. Jacobs and Henry for like a Eckler, just to upgrade into safety? I would do that. But those are just thoughts of mine. Jacobs and Brady for Josh Allen? Boom. Jacobs and Brady for Mahomes? Boom. For Herbert? Boom. Punch it. Do it. Get it. Do it live. Where's my music? Anthony, $10 hauler. Anthony says, long story, I had an internet issue. I auto-drafted my first 4 picks. Thank God I got Kupp and Brees. And somehow I traded Monty and Tyreek for Ayuk, Elijah Moore, and Dameon Pierce. I don't know if I like that move. I love Dameon Pierce, but you got rid of Tyreek. I don't think I would have done that trade, broski. I hate to tell you that on a $10 hauler, but I'm going to shoot you straight so we can try and fix it or put you in the best position to win. I wouldn't have done that move. I love Dameon Pierce, but that's buying him at his absolute high. I don't know the rest of your team to help try and fix it or anything, but I'd say I probably wouldn't have done that move. But Dameon Pierce, now don't go selling him cheap. It's got to work out for you. Dameon Pierce has got to smash. Ayuk's got to smash. Maybe there's another thing you could do, but I probably wouldn't have done that trade. It's not like you can't come back from it or you can't figure out a way to maneuver again. I've seen people do trades like that, and then they make another trade with those players, and then they end up getting a better package at the end of the day. So don't give up or think it's not fixable. Singletary and Hall, too much for Swift? No. You're not even going to get that, Christian. You're not going to get that, but I would certainly try. Absolutely try and get Swift for that. Deluxe says, how about CMC and Tony for CD and Zeke? Love the streams. The streams love you, Deluxe. I appreciate you. CMC and Tony for CD and Zeke. No, I don't like Zeke. The problem is Zeke. I don't think Zeke's going to last. I trade CMC for Javonte or Swift or Tyreek Hill or someone like that as the anchor of the trade and then add another player onto it. But the anchor, whenever you're doing a trade, okay, you're doing a trade, you find an anchor. So you're trading CMC for 2 players. One of them is going to be the anchor. Once you find the anchor, you determine the other player value that you need in order to make it whole. So in the case of A.J. Brown, let's say, you select A.J. Brown as the anchor. Now you know what this value's got to be to make this equal that, okay? A.J. Brown puts you in a position to where now you need, is ETN enough? ETN's probably not enough. I don't know if ETN and AJ Brown, I go back and forth if that's enough for CMC. It probably isn't. AJ Brown, and I mean, if you liked Chubb, it could work. If you liked Aaron Jones, that could work. I personally think it's hard to do that with AJ Brown because I want the running back to be better than those running backs. I do like ETN. If you were to do ETN as the anchor, then this other player would probably have to be like a Tyreek Hill, something like that. I would do that. That is equal. That's how you make a trade. So CMC for what? What are you trading CMC for? If the anchor of the trade CeeDee Lamb, you still need to get something better than Zeke Elliott. That's what I'm going to tell you on that. So hopefully that helps you with your trades. That's it. We're done with the super chats. I'm pretty sure I got to everybody. If for any reason I missed your super chat, please tell me in the comments of the video. Hey, use a bunch of emojis or something. You missed my super chat, and I will get to it. I am exhausted. It is streams 2.5 hours long. My voice is shot. I'll see you all probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll go live tonight, but I do want you all to get over to Underdog Fantasy, not just for me, not just to use my promo code, which is Smitty, or the link pinned in the live chat, or the link pinned in the description, but to play Underdog and get yourself into some teams so you aren't left empty-handed if injuries strike your team. There's nothing better than having 4, 5, or 6 Underdog best ball drafts just sitting there. You're able to watch them all year long. You can have 4 more drafts right now. You go over to Underdog, $10 minimum. That in each draft, each Puppy 4 draft, they're called Puppy drafts. Puppy 4 is $5. So if you do a $10 minimum deposit, that's 2 drafts. They match up to $100 in your first deposit. So if you just deposit $10, they'll give you $10. Now you can do 4 snake drafts tonight till your heart's content. Draft 4 new teams, monitor them all year, and have best ball in your life, which is absolutely phenomenal. Appreciate everybody. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com, which is my content site, which is right here. Thefantasyfootballshow.com. Thank you, Michael CPA, for everything. Appreciate your support. Thank you, Avatar, for being before Avatar. Thank you all to all those that were before all of those guys. I think I have them right here. Michael K. CPA is now the new leader. I'll have to fix this up. Avatar, Seth Jocelyn, Mark Cleveland, Niner by Nature, Michael K. CPA again. Michael K. CPA is the highest super chatter of the year. Not to mention the highest super chatter in a single live stream. Pretty Richie, Jocelyn, Surprise, or Jocelyn, the other Jocelyn. Appreciate Jocelyn, Surprise, and this Jocelyn. Guys, you guys rock. You're absolutely amazing. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Get your lifetime membership, your one-on-one text advice, your trade calculator, your bold predictions, which lock in tomorrow or tonight. I lock all the bold predictions in for the year. There are 12 to 14 of them, and this is where the magic happens on thefantasyfootballshow.com. The bold predictions are where the magic happens. Get on over there. Those are all my social handles. I'll see you all tomorrow. If news breaks, I'll be live because your boy Smitty goes live whenever news breaks. Right here. Whenever news breaks, but I'm also live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. no matter what. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all the super chats, support, love. I work for you. You help keep the lights on. Ziggy, studio off. Ziggy, studio off. See you all later. Shoddy, I'm going to look for your $2 hauler right now. 1 second, Shoddy. I'm sorry, pal. Sometimes they flow in weird. Where's Shoddy? Where's Shoddy? Where's Shoddy? Shoddy, Shoddy, Shoddy. Shoddy, you still with me? Hang tight. Thank you, Terry Roberts, for yours. Thank you, Brian L. Guy, Brozy. Thank you, Overcome. Thank you, Baca says 12th pick in a super flex. Who do I take? I'm sorry. I missed this one by Jeremy. Jeremy, you still here? And Shoddy. Shoddy, appreciate you. Shoddy, you didn't leave a question again, though. I'll try and find it. That's the problem, is when I don't see the question anywhere. Maybe you're just throwing it out there. Oh, it was above it. Okay, here it is. So Shoddy says, rate this team: Eckler, Diggs, Javonte, Aaron Jones, DJ Moore, Burrow, St. Brown, Mooney, Stevenson, Ayuk, Muth, Penny, Lance, Javonte, Aaron Jones, DJ Moore. I like it. Diggs, yeah, bro. Eckler, Javonte, Aaron Jones, Diggs, St. Brown, DJ Moore, Burrow. There's not much to do here. Mooney and, maybe DJ Moore and Aaron. You got the depth. You got Mooney and Stevenson you could throw in. Maybe trade Aaron Jones and DJ Moore away for like a Najee Harris or Swift. That's what I do. Love that team, Shoddy. You don't have to do a thing, though. Appreciate you with the $2 hauler. Is Jeremy still here? Thank you, Shoddy. Shoddy, did you catch that? Also, is Jeremy still here? Where's Jeremy? Jeremy. Yeah, we're going to tear it up this season. I used the super chat. I don't know how I got passed up, but if you could get to it, please. Chris, I don't know where Chris's went. Hold on, Chris. Jeremy, my answer your question, 12 pick super flex, who do you go? It depends on the flow. It depends on the flow, bro. I wish I could tell you it was an easy call to say, but if it's redraft and Hurts or Burrow's there, you got to go Hurts or Burrow and then return back to normal drafting, meaning act like it's not a super flex anymore and start just like sniping all the potential, guys that would go in the first round in a normal 1 QB league, and just scoop them up until you get to about round 4 or 5 or 6. I love grabbing Davis Mills as my QB2 or Trevor Lawrence or a combination of those kind of guys later. Chris, I'm looking for it, bro. Oscar, you rock, Smitty. Thank you, appreciate you. Big Pescado says you're the GOAT. Appreciate you. Kyle, appreciate you. Where's this Chris? Super chat from Chris Ramos, St. Brown, and AJ Dilly. I got that one. Where is it? Chris, where are you? Chris, can you repost it? Because I'm searching through the weeds here. It's my fault, but sometimes these come in weird, and I'm sorry, but can you repost it, bro? And can you just re-ask it, and I'll answer it right now. I use a super chat. Wasted my free loyal member question. Was not addressed. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm trying my best. Matt and Chris, please answer. I'll come back here. I'll come back in front, and then before I go, Matt and Chris, hit me with their Ziggy Studio on. Matt and Chris, please hit me with your questions. I'm here for you. He wanted your top 10 list. Breece Hall played. MRD says Breece hasn't played a down. What about it? All right, waiting for Chris and Matt here. Appreciate everybody still in here. Punch that thumb up button. Chris and Matt, hit me, bro. I'm waiting, pal. I'm waiting here for you. I work for you, Chris and Matt. Let's go. Would you trade Mike Evans for Breece Hall and A-Rob? I would rather have... It depends if you needed a running back. I just wanted you to rate your top 10 wide receivers and running backs. Okay. Corey, JT for Metcalf, and Elijah Mitchell. No, JT. That's not even close. All right, where's Chris? Chris, where are you? Chris, I got to go, pal. I'm here for you. I just need you to ask the question. Running backs. I mean, that's such a long, that's almost too long of a question, Matt, unfortunately, because it's like that'd take like 20, 30 minutes. I would just say that quickly. I'd say Jefferson, Chase Jefferson are my in Cup and redraft. Dynasty, Cup drops down with Lamb, but Cup's still in the top 3 or 4 in Dynasty. But in redraft, it's like I don't see Chris asking his question. He probably left mad, but I want to help him. I don't see everything. I try my best. Then it's in redraft. It's Cup, then Lamb, then probably Adams, then Diggs. You could go Adams, Lamb, Diggs, but it's really close. Debo, Tyreek Hill, Debo, and then most people are gonna have Mike Evans, but I have AJ Brown, and I have AJ Brown capable of being that like 7 or 6 too. I think he could really be 7 or 6. Jacob, I can't right now, pal. I've been here for over 2.5 hours. I gotta bounce out, but we'll do a call-in show tomorrow. I don't see Chris coming back to ask his question, so Chris might have left. Mike Evans would be like 9 or 10. St. Brown is my sneaky guy. Higgins and Pittman are right there with St. Brown. I don't have St. Brown, or I don't have Higgins and Pittman in like the 7, 8 like everybody else. No, Chris, you can just post. I mean, just ask the question in the chat here, Chris. You already super chatted. I'm fine. I'll take care of you. I just need the question, bro, before I bounce out. So that's my wide receivers. As far as running backs, JT, it's like Najee, Eckler, Swift, Javonte for me. And granted, you got to understand that Javonte, I have like finishing maybe as the number 1 running back or number 2 running back, but you got to rank them at a certain place down low. You can't rank them high. But at a certain point, I do actually draft them. Ahead of and reach for him a little bit. So, Jonathan Taylor, Najee, Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Eckler, Najee, Swift, Javonte. Yes, I have CMC and Henry below those 5 guys. Would I draft them that way? No, I try and take full advantage of it. What's up, Andrew? So I would say most definitely, bro, McCaffrey and Henry and Cook kind of have to go after that with Aaron Jones after those guys. Kamara, because the risk is around 8, 9, 10. Nick Chubb, I don't like his situation. Travis Etienne's outside the top 10, but sneaky good to get inside the top 10. Pierce is outside the top 10, sneaky good to get in the top 10. Okay, so that's in a nutshell, that's the best I could give you. It's such a long conversation. I was offered a trade, Chris. I think this is Chris's question. I was offered a trade earlier, receiving Russell Wilson and JT, and I'm giving up Dak Prescott and CMC. If this is a 1 QB league, I'd rather have the JT Russell Wilson side, because Russell Wilson and Dak are very even to me. I could one moment like Russell Wilson more than Dak, one moment like Dak more than Russell Wilson. So let's take those 2 out of the equation entirely. So Chris, the answer is I like JT more than CMC, but it's arguable to some people, because some people have CMC as the number 1. Me, I don't. I fear the risk of CMC getting hurt again. For me, it's JT all day long. The quarterbacks are a wash. So hopefully that helps you, Chris. I appreciate you. Sorry about that. I never mean to skip over anybody. You guys see how much I'm trying to get to all the questions. Appreciate everybody. And a round of applause one more time for Michael K. CPA. If I missed anybody else's question, okay, that goes for anybody that, Chris just, Chris sent it 5 times. I see it. I got it. If I missed anybody else's question, it's not as easy as you think to navigate all of these chat questions. We have so many questions. There's probably 25 to 2,700 messages in this 2.5 hour period. Probably 2,700 messages have gone by. 2,700 messages while I'm manning the controls, trying to do this and that. It is a lot. I never mean to skip anybody. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. If I ever do skip you and I don't see your super chat, don't fret. Just comment in the YouTube video and say, Smitty, I dropped a whatever dollar hauler. Can you please answer this question? I will get back to you. I answer almost all my YouTube questions, and I will take care of you. I will go above and beyond if I miss your question. Please let me know in the comments if that ever happens again. Chris, I will take care of you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. Matt, I appreciate you. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm for sure out of here this time. Thank you, Michael K. CPA. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Later.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.